I'm gonna scream. I do not know what's wrong. I genuinely do not know what's wrong. I've restarted OBS. I've restarted my computer. I've restarted everything like several fucking times. Why the fuck is only half of the chat showing up? Please. Oh my god. All this. You update a few things from your computer once, and this is what you get. I'm gonna cry, I think. The model works. Oh no, this is the scuffed version of me trying to get the model to work. This is the one that does like if I do something in the program, it shows up as well. The other way is it's used like a virtual webcam of some kind. And if I do that one, then you guys can see the actual program when I have that open. So if I were to open the settings here, you would see that. So this is the scuffed model version, but hey, it's better than no model version, right? But why the fuck is the chat broken now? What did I do? Why is the chat broken? Hey, the pad is working. That's something. That's something at least. Test. No. Thank you for the resub, by the way. Oh, this is so... What did I even... I didn't change anything. I do not know what's wrong with the chat now. I didn't change anything about the chat. Oh, OBS, why do you hate me? It's a browser source. The browser source works just like it should. Half of it shows up anyway. Refresh the cage, I guess. Oh my. I have no fucking idea. Okay, what if I save this? Well, I mean, we can still play the game. I would like it if the chat would at least show up. That would be nice. What if I add it as a new source? No, not as this is so fucking bad. Okay, a new browser source. Boom, would you look at that? Yeah, that doesn't show anything. Lovely. That's great. I have no idea what broke. Something must have broken. I just don't know what it is. Nope. Something is terribly, horribly broken. That's okay. You locked in your laptop, you're unstoppable. Wow, the funny emote wall works. That's something at least. This one isn't working either. Okay, I guess we'll just enjoy the game. Reactive emotes then. Exclusively using emotes. Nothing else is working. On the flip side, we will no longer have laggies when stuff happens on screen. Yay! Okay, I do not know what broke with the chat. I do not know what broke with a VidTube Studio. You will only speak in emotes. Oh god. Why though? Why? What did I... What did I break about the chat? Jesus Christ. I can't even give you like music because I need to tap into the game to get music, but because I only have one screen right now, I can't be both tapped into the game and into OBS. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's try and see if we can at least get some game music. If I do this, I guess. Alright. Well, we'll come to a stream you can hear. Okay, we'll come to a stream where you can see the chat. That's fine. That's fine, but at least we can play the game. That's something at least. Yeah, if I tap out, it immediately stops. Okay. I hate this. What did I break? Because I must have broken something. Alright. Whatever. We focus on Corpse Factory now, and I'll focus on trying to fix this sometime later, but I didn't want to have to cancel the entire stream. Why is there grayed out factory option? I'm scared. A crow factory option. That's like after the ending thing you unlock or something, so it's like something we just haven't reached yet, because we haven't reached an ending for the game. The only thing so far that doesn't work, you can still read. Yeah. I mean, I can read you guys because I just have the chat open on my phone. Or Sequel Bait? No, I think it's like more stuff about the game. Oh, where's my control? Oh my god. Where's my controller? My controller's on the other side of my fucking room because I found out that I can plug in my controller and bring it back. Fun. Scuffed. I think this has to be the scuffiest stream I have ever done in my life. Holy shit. Like, we've done Scuff, but this... Oh, my controller is not reacting. Lovely. This has to be the scuffiest I've ever fucking done. Why are you not reacting? What's a VTuber stream without Scuff? That is very true. The controller is not working. Why not? You worked just fine earlier. What's your problem now? Hello? Okay. No controller for me then. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. You good old keyboard. It is then. You good old keyboard. Man. The good thing is, if I get all of this fixed, you know, and I will get this fixed somewhat, somehow, somewhen, who knows, gonna have some streams with way less lag. What's chocolate truffle? Chocolate truffle? I want it to work. Alright, whatever. Let's do this. Is my other keyboard even plugged in? We'll see. It's the same stakeout as last time. No, my other keyboard doesn't want to work either. I'm gonna fucking cry, bro. Hello. You are plugged in. What is your problem? Way less lag and way high in-game settings. Yeah! Okay. I am running out of things I could use. I'm running out of things I could use. Mouse it is then. Mouse and super loud keyboard noises. Yeah. the same stakeout as last time. Junpei Matsumoto in his infinite wisdom posted a noise about visiting the maid cafe today. Don't know why he doesn't set his profile to private. Especially after I followed him home last time. Oh right, we are on our way to maybe probably kill this guy. Fun. But I won't be following him again today. I'll confront him inside the maid cafe, a place where Aoi is unlikely to be since she quit the job a while ago. Mouse and keyboard ASMR, but I'm not so sure if that counts as ASMR. Although, did she really quit? If memory serves, she was dressed as a maid the last time I encountered her. Maybe the maid cafe is a front. It's not that I have qualms about killing her. In fact, I'm not even bothered that Noriko is okay with ordering her death. I'm just thinking about the future. When Noriko and I marry, we'll want friends and family to attend the wedding. When you marry? Okay. Noriko will need bridesmaids, a maid of honor. I will be perfect for one of those roles. By sparing her life now, I can kick off my new life with Noriko on a high note. I'm aware other people will be present in the cafe. I have no intention of hurting them. Any other buttons? What a forward-thinking man. I mean, technically she did tell him last time, like, yeah, okay, sure, I'm gonna... You can do whatever you want if you do this. Like, you can do whatever you want with me, so... I'll force as many as possible to evacuate, or I'll corner Junpei somewhere private. The dog himself arrives as I'm playing through possible scenarios in my head. He waltzes through the front door, completely oblivious to my presence across the street. I'll give him some time. Let him get comfortable, lower his guard. The weight of the blade inside my pocket is unfamiliar. Not like it's so heavy that it will restrict my movement, just feels strange. Figured it was better not to tackle this unarmed. It's an emergency measure. After 20 minutes, I approach the maid cafe's entrance. Oh, that is pink! Not a fan of the atmosphere. Too flashy for me. Prefer somewhere more simple, laid back. Junpei has a table near the far wall, alone. Not that I expected any different. A blonde maid trots over to refill his drink. He nods politely but doesn't say a word. Hasn't seen me come in yet. Someone asks if I want a table. I don't respond. Someone else chimes in, something about paying the cover charge. I don't know. My attention's on a dog. No one attempts to hold me back as I march toward my prey. He finally sees me, but I'm 5 steps away and it's too late.
Oh, what the?
You're here now too! Hi! Welcome to the scuffiest stream we've ever done! Pink, like your favorite VTuber anyway.
Long time. You're crazy, man. Get away from me!
Looking at him up close, he doesn't seem too worse for wear, considering our last encounter. I start to wonder if I went too easy on him.
Can I sit here? Hell no! Get out of here! Thanks.
I pull up a chair and sit directly across from him. The blonde maid from before offers me a menu. Then she gasps and I hear something shatter on the floor.
It's you!
Hi! You still work here. Strange. Aoi didn't quit her job after all. She lied to Noriko. Did Noriko lie to me? I'm 90% sure it's her anyway.
Stay back, baby. I got this.
Yep, it's her.
Thought you quit.
Huh?
I thought you quit this job.
What? How would you know that?
I realized that I shouldn't spill any details on my relationship with Noriko.
Forget it. Oh, you think you're hot stuff, right? Tailing me, beating me up, and now you're digging into my girl's business? The fuck is wrong with you, man?
Several things.
Excuse me for a second.
I stand up slightly and lean over the table. Junpei recoils as my fist pummels his nose. Oh my god.
Sorry, had to do it.
I sit back down and wipe my bloodied knuckles with a napkin. Junpei clutches his face and sobs. Aoi is visibly shaking, standing next to her dog, unsure how to react. It's a miracle I don't think anyone else around witnessed the punch. For the best, means we can get down to business without interruption.
Some questions for you. You broke my nose! Shush. I haven't asked my question yet.
Aoi somehow gathers the courage to flee. I don't watch her leave, but I get the sense she's gone to fetch help.
What do you know about the robbery of the hospital morgue? I don't know what you're talking about. No, not the answer I wanted.
Junpei makes the mistake of possessing fingers. I jam a steel fork into the back of his left thumb and pin it to the wooden table.
You're going to give me the answers I want. Am I clear? You're a nutcase. You're psycho! No. For my next question,
How did you find out about my involvement with Corpse Girl?
It seems that Junpei is carefully weighing his response for the first time. Instead of outright defiance, he wisely chooses to grant me a satisfactory answer.
It wasn't hard, man. You're not the most stealthy dude around, you know?
Explain.
You and that blonde gal girl, Tomoe Watanabe, you're not cautious enough.
So, he knows Tomoe's identity and her involvement. Just how it's truly a liability.
It's not hard to tell you when you drive that hunk of shit van around town, dropping dead bodies off to Corpse Girl's targets.
He knows a lot. Way too much. How far does his knowledge extend?
I see.
Is it too loud? Or is it just that you don't like the sounds?
My next question, then. Do you know Corpse Girl's identity?
I think the real question is, do you?
I consider his words. Do I know Corpse Girl's identity? Beginning to doubt that. Had he asked me a week or two ago, I would have thought of Noriko immediately. Now, the way that Noriko has been referring to Corpse Girl, I'm not so certain. But I won't let this wounded mud have the upper hand. I won't let him pry open gaps in my defense.
Wrong answer.
The only other piece of cutlery at hand is a metal spoon. I drive the slightly pointed rear end of it into the pointer finger on Junpei's already injured hand. See, I'm very squeamish and this game is equally scripted. Yeah,
Corpse
I get
Girl's
that.
identity?
Fine. Noriko Kurosawa.
Interesting.
I see.
A hesitant tap on my shoulder from behind me causes me to turn.
Leave him alone.
Yeah, just dropping off the bodies in broad daylight. It's very... Aoi somewhat gathered a half dozen other bystanders. They're all glaring at me, fists clenched, ready to try and forcibly remove me from the premises.
We're not done here. Come back later.
Let my Junpei go. Stop hurting him.
For an outwardly meek girl, Aoi has more courage than I expected. I stand up and stretch my neck. I'm not looking for a fight with a bunch of cafe patrons. Leaving aside, I dip my hand into my pocket and withdraw the knife. Flashing it in front of the mob says more than my words ever could. They all back off a few, letting out snivels of despair. Can I just show both of these? There we go. Aoi, eyed out of bravery or fear, holds her ground. A single watery tear welling in her left eye discloses her true feelings.
Leave. Everyone. Now.
Doesn't take more than this animalistic, primitive command to convince the crowd to disperse and rush for the door. Aoi's amongst the fleeing throng, and she mouths the word sorry as she catches Junpei's eye. Satisfied that we will not be interrupted further, I return my attention to Junpei. He sobs vocally.
Kill me, man. I'll do whatever you want, you know? Please, I'm begging you. I've got my whole life ahead of me.
Relax. Only one more question for you.
What? What is it?
Who runs the human removal service? Who is the Herald?
I'm being completely honest with you, man. I don't know who he is. He wears this creepy-ass mask and never speaks.
Can't quite tell if the dog is being sincere or lying through his teeth. I don't think he's lying at this point anymore.
I need more than that. Who would know his identity?
Shit. Look, man. The Human Removal Service. It's only the two of us. Me and the Herald. He recruited me online, you know?
Oh.
He makes me do his legwork. So, if I don't know who he is, no one does. Except him.
You're two people service? How does that work? Not good enough. Not the answer I'm looking for. I lean over the table once more, keeping my knife clearly within the dog's vision.
Not happy with that answer. Take a finger.
Shit, no, dude, seriously. Ask me a different question. Please, please.
Kojiro.
What the fuck? A voice I didn't expect to hear rings out from behind me.
Noriko.
Enough.
Where did you come from?
Why are you here?
I overheard everything. It's enough information to use.
Is it?
Noriko strides forward. It's a little unnerving seeing her in the real world away from the factory. She's been cooped up there for so long. The pale skin looks almost otherworldly beneath the cafe's gaudy lights. For whatever reason, she's wearing her best clothes. They're almost clean, as though she recently did her own laundry. She walks with purpose, one foot in front of the other, but her gait is unsteady and she's visibly trembling. At the end of her path, she rests her palm against Junpei's table and takes a calming breath.
You stole the corpses from the morgue.
No.
Yes.
Noriko doesn't miss a beat as she flashes her phone at Junpei. I can see what's displayed on the screen, but the dog hangs his head almost immediately.
It was me.
Oh, that was quick.
I robbed them all.
Noriko pockets her phone. She then tosses a small bundle of bandages onto the table. Bandages? Junpei hastily grabs the offering with his good hand.
Get out of here. Get Aoi to bandage you up. And not a word of this to the police.
Yes.
With a great deal of effort and a grimace, Junpei plucks the cutlery from his pierced hand and yelps. Not daring to remain in my presence any longer, he bolts toward the door.
We're just letting him go?
Yes.
Don't understand.
You don't need to.
Don't like that. Don't feel comfortable not knowing what's going on.
What did you show him on your phone?
Leave it, Kojiro. Put the knife away. We're leaving.
I obey her orders, returning the knife to my pocket. I follow her unsteady lead and we exit the empty maid cafe. Noriko gasps unhealthily as she quickly consumes her weight in water. With a loud swallow, she brings her sleeve to her lips and wipes her mouth dry. The empty water bottle clatters against the concrete and Noriko's gaze returns to me.
That's a bit better.
The visit to the maid cafe got the better of her. She spent too much energy intervening in the confrontation, but her motives for doing so remain unclear.
Fill me in.
There's no need to kill Junpei.
Why not?
Why? He knows everything. Knows me, knows Tomoe. He knows... you.
Noriko hesitates, but she doesn't flinch at the revelation. Something tells me she already knew this much.
Junpei Matsumoto will be dead by sunrise. I made a request, Kojiro.
A request? The first thought that jumps out at me is that she requested for Corpse Girl to kill Junpei Matsumoto, but that's a ridiculous notion, isn't it?
I see. I don't think Corpse Girl can take care of him. He knows our whole operation.
Noriko's raised eyebrow conveys her confusion.
What? No, I didn't make a request through Corpse Girl's website. What would be the point of that?
I shrug because I truly don't know what else she could have meant. She asked the Human Removal Service.
I used the other website. The Human Removal Service.
But he works there.
I made a request for the death of Junpei Matsumoto.
Oh. But again, what good would that do? Junpei's an accomplice. If his colleague, the venerable, supposedly immortal Herald, receives a request to kill him, it will simply be ignored. Unless... A startling realization dawns on me.
Shit, of course. Why didn't I suggest that?
A haunting smirk is inscribed across Noriko's features. She knows that I've finally drawn the same conclusion.
The Herald is ambitious.
Maybe there'll be a
His
proper
convictions
twist.
are strong. Absolute. Just like mine. Like Corpse Girl's.
Corpse Girl's convictions.
But if it's really only those two for the Human Removal Service, how the fuck is that gonna work out?
Corpse Girl would never reject a request.
That's right. Junpei Matsumoto is disposable. A pawn, the Herald will deal death to him in the same manner as any other nameless victim.
I see.
But more important than Junpei being killed is what we will discover in the aftermath.
Explain.
By knowing that Junpei is the next to be targeted, we can observe him and witness the Herald's killing method firsthand.
Ah, it's brilliant. Noriko has laid the perfect trap. By sparing Junpei's life today, we have set him up to be slaughtered by his own compatriot. And we can use his death as a means to uncover exactly how the Herald brings low his victims.
Have to add it to you. This is a pretty fantastic plan.
I know.
A few things.
You have doubts?
Not doubts, exactly. Firstly, how do we know exactly when Junpei will be killed?
Noriko sweeps her hair behind her ear and scoffs as though the answer should be as clear to me as it is to her.
I specifically requested the time of death.
You can do that?
The Human Removal Service demands it.
Oh!
Interesting. Second topic. What if you're wrong?
What?
What if the Herald isn't willing to kill his own ally?
In that case, it will prove something important. It will prove that we're dealing with a complete amateur. Someone whose convictions could never reach the strength of Corpse Girl's.
We finally learn if this is supernatural horror or purely psychological. I Yeah, I think it's psychological. Just like that, Noriko reaffirmed my earlier suspicions. Corpse Girl truly would destroy her own allies in order to see her ambitions fulfilled. Tomoe and myself, our souls are shackled to Corpse Girl's own black void, yet we are not safe from her wrath. Should Noriko will it, our flames will be snuffed out in moments. We are nothing to her. Dirt, dust, ash. We will be blown away like the useless, incinerated remains of a cadaver.
Understood. Let's uncover the secrets behind the human removal service.
You've been flip-flopping a lot on it. I mean, I don't think they're gonna make it a supernatural thing. I hope they're not gonna make it a supernatural thing, because I would be very interested in seeing how they're going to try and make this have a realistic conclusion. Another early morning, if you can call it that. Haven't gone to sleep yet, so it still feels like late night. Oh, me. Me. From yesterday to today. Noriko has me on a short leash. Thinks she knows it too. Apparently she specified this as the place of Junpei's staff. Don't know how she knew of it. This parking complex belongs to Junpei's apartment building. It extends 2 or 3 levels on the ground. Again, Noriko specified the exact location of the death. The human removal service seems to take user requests very seriously.
How much further in?
Shh, keep your voice down. I'm just looking for a good vantage point that we can hide.
Her words are severed by a violent gasp. Unable to speak another word, she simply points. My eyes obediently follow the direction of her slender finger. Artwork time. Ooh! Hello?
Disappointing. Missed the main event.
Junpei Matsumoto's already dead. He's floating in a sea of his own lifeblood. After examining his remains, I turn my attention to the less interesting figure standing motionless beside him.
You.
The masked stranger looks like the villain from a B-rated slasher film. He's covered from head to toe in dark clothing, a zipped-up jacket with extra long sleeves, a hood, a skirt. The cut of the figure's clothes combined with his physique give me the impression that he may in fact be female. Is this the Herald we've been searching for? The bloody corpse at her feet would suggest that it is so.
That mask.
Excuse me. It's simple white, probably porcelain. It's reminiscent of something. Some fictional character or maybe some film villain after all. Good morning! Hi! Welcome to Scuff! It's a cutie in a skirt and boops. The Herald still hasn't moved. She's as still as a statue, gaze vacant, her eyes impossible to discern behind the mask.
Are you the Herald?
For the first time, the figure moves. It's a startling jerky motion, like a mannequin or a puppet being pulled by strings. Her head cocks to the side and she seems to notice our presence for the first time. But an answer to Noriko's question is not forthcoming. I step up to the plate.
Really immortal?
The Herald doesn't react to my voice like she reacted to Noriko's. She's returned to a stiff, doll-like state. Pretty easy to prove if someone or something is immortal, and I've always had a curious mind. I draw the knife from my pocket and launch it at the mannequin. The blade embeds itself in her thick shoulder, and she doesn't so much as flinch as a trickle of blood pools around the shining steel.
Mr. Hart.
Ojiro, why did you do that?
I shrug and take a step toward the Herald before Noriko tugs at my coat and holds me back. She takes my place and puts herself between me and the Herald.
Tell us who you are. We deserve to know that much.
Something in Noriko's words, the sound of her voice or the tone of her plea, causes the Herald to move once more in acknowledgement. But the motion this time is quick, fast, calculated. The Herald moves a sleeved hand to withdraw the knife from her shoulder, and she allows the blade to drop down to the concrete ground with a dull ting. Before the knife hits the ground, the Herald turns her back to us and breaks into a sprint. Oh, okay, bye!
Shit. Not cut out to chase her.
Don't bother. We won't catch up.
The Herald disappears into the darkness of the parking lot. We are left standing by the corpse of Junpei Matsumoto.
Well, we didn't see the killing, but at least the request was granted.
She's right. Her gambit paid off. The Herald killed her own ally. She's proven her convictions are strong. I crouch down to examine Junpei's corpse, but it's hard to get a good look in the darkness. Regardless, it's clear that the dog is dead.
Should we leave the body?
Going to send a text.
Huh? Who are you messaging?
See if I can pull a few strings. Wouldn't mind if the corpse ended up at my morgue.
What are you planning?
Nothing. Really. Just want to prod and poke a bit.
Noriko's subsequent grunt is a clear indication that she doesn't fully believe me.
Do what you want. I've gained as much from this as I had hoped.
I let it trail off as I turned my attention to my phone. I swiped through my contacts and quickly composed a message to a few people in particular. If all goes well, an investigation team will shortly arrive to examine the scene. I'll be gone by then, but if my contacts do their jobs correctly, they'll haul Junpei back to the morgue. I pocket my phone and scurry toward the blood-soaked knife I launched at the Herald. It slides back into my pocket and I signal to Noriko that we should depart.
Goodbye, Junpei Matsumoto.
She raves half-heartedly at the corpse and lets out a childlike giggle. I mean, she didn't like him in the first place. Because he was dating her Aoi. A scant few hours sleep didn't offer much in the way of refreshment. Have to be at the morgue again in an hour. Not that there's much to do there since the place was robbed. Perhaps a few more cadavers will have arrived. Perhaps Junpei Matsumoto's corpse will be there. I should take this opportunity to take a breath. Been a while since life slowed down like this. No requests coming through for Corpse Girl, no bodies to haul around town with Tomoe, no cadavers to cut a look at the morgue. Life should be good. I'm still alone. We return to our main living spaces. And Noriko may decide to discard me at any moment. Why does that make me want her more? Do I want to prove my worth, my value? Prove to her that I'm worth keeping around? Don't know. Doesn't matter in the long run. After brewing myself a cup of coffee using the French press Tomoe gifted me, I take a seat in my chair. Sitting alone in the darkness is somewhat depressing, but it's only temporary. I won't be alone forever. Soon Noriko will sit here with me. We'll be together in the darkness. I'll make her see my worth. I'll make her love me the way that I love her. I make her fill the void that Shizuko left in my life. I make her treat the gnawing pain in my insides. I make her save me from falling into despair, from falling into old habits. Noriko will save me from myself, just like Shizuko once did. I take a sip of my coffee. It's still a little hot and it scalds the gap in my mouth where my tooth once was. It hurts. But I'll be okay. Soon. I need to know what happened with Shizuko because I think he made a mannequin out of her and has her standing in his closet, and that's not good. He needs a good dom to help him realize this. I think he needs therapy. It's hard to hide a smile when plans unfold perfectly. The body was here waiting for me when I arrived at the morgue. Staring down at the pallid corpse of Junpei Matsumoto fills me with more satisfaction than I thought possible. The dog is dead and my early morning encounter with his executioner wasn't just some fever dream born from visual thinking. His body is riddled with stab wounds, deep, clean, piercing cuts, but these injuries were not inflicted by a knife. I'm no forensic pathologist, but wounds are too thin and too deep. Each intrusion is about the width of a chopstick. Doubt he was killed by chopsticks though. You never can rule out everything. My gaze pans down his body looking for anything of interest. The rest of his form looks ordinary, nothing to note. I'll zip up the bag for now and return him to his allocated cold chamber. Oh. What the fuck? As I raise the zipper covering his legs and groin, I have to shift his arms to fit them within the HRP. And then I flinch and my hands instinctively retract from the cadaver. Wait, I found a way so you guys do not have to hear the grating noise all the time. If I just scroll down, it also works. I'm used to the ice-cold touch of a body fresh from its containment chamber, the sensation of lifeless, preserved flesh. Thus it wasn't a sensation of touch that caused me to startle. It was a sight of something out of the ordinary, something I'd somehow missed during my initial observation. Junpei's fingers. 5 thick, meaty digits on each hand. 10 perfectly intact, dead, but otherwise healthy fingers. It was only days ago that I pierced 2 of his fingers, his thumb and his pointer finger, using cheap metal cutlery. I can't forget the distinct feeling of plunging those implements through flesh and bone and pinning his fingers to a table. The corpse before me shows no evidence of ever being injured in such a manner. Nobody can heal wounds like that without medical attention. Even then, stitches and scars will remain. But Junpei Matsumoto's stitches are 100% intact and puncture-free.
Interesting.
Come to think of it, didn't I snap another few of his fingers in half that time I confronted him outside his apartment? I'm sure I did, crushed the bones within my own fist. But this corpse's hands don't show any signs of that either. Normal to the touch, no visible bruising. It's not actually him! On a whim, I pull up my phone and open noise. I navigate to Junpei Matsumoto's profile. Load a few profile images, swipe through them one by one. I put my phone right next to Junpei's head, comparing the similarities between Junpei's photos and his dead body. Everything becomes clear immediately. Certain elements of Junpei's features don't match. His nose is broad and photos, his lips are thin and more taut. corpse in front of me is not Junpei Matsumoto. It's a copy. A clone. Junpei Matsumoto's death was faked for our entertainment. The body lying on the ground in front of the Herald was planted there before we arrived, planted to convince us that Junpei had met his maker. The Herald did not kill Junpei. The Herald simply used one of Corpse Girl's tricks and produced a carbon copy body. All in order to fool myself and Noriko. As this revelation settles in my mind, I come to another conclusion. The mock being robbed was no coincidence. I can almost guarantee that the cadaver used to replicate Junpei's death was stolen from this very place. A weapon of deception, stolen and turned against us. And the mock was targeted before Noriko even requested Junpei's death. We got duped badly. Almost as if the human removal service predicted Noriko's movements in advance. Is that even possible? All I know for sure is that the dog is still out there, still skulking around, working for his master. This is starting to get interesting. Well, okay, my
I think I'm up to date.
bot seems to be working just fine as well.
I guess it was a good thing you decided to prod and poke Junpei's corpse, as you put it.
Guess so.
I thought you were just being your usual morbid self, taking corpses for your own use, whatever that may be.
Don't know what to tell you.
Well, I'm glad you acted. Faking Junpei's death, what's their end goal? What did they really accomplish by pulling such a stunt?
There's a million possible answers to that question. Can't know the real truth? Not yet.
Obvious answer would be that they wanted to deceive us, make us think we have the upper hand.
I came to the same conclusion. I think
Congratulations.
they fooled us, but we know better. Can we use that to our advantage?
Don't know.
Sometimes you're helpful, and other times you're just...
What?
Never mind.
Okay.
It irritates her when I withhold my thoughts. Sometimes I act like this just to elicit a reaction from her. She's cute when she's pissed off.
I don't know what we should do next.
Is she?
We're kind of at a dead end, right?
Kind of.
Corpse Girl's website has gone silent. No one is requesting deaths anymore.
Aw, you poor baby.
But if I'm to believe the news, there are still dozens of people being killed all around the city, which means the human removal service is still as active as ever.
Don't beat yourself up. Don't have any cadavers at the morgue anyway. Can't exactly fulfill any requests.
True.
She sighs and rubs her eyes. Despite her tired, exhausted appearance, she's dealing with recent events rather well. For Noriko at any rate.
Can you let me know when the morgue starts filling up again?
Oh no, no, they're definitely not mentally stable.
Sure. Hang on. There is one body there.
She's cute by default.
Fake Junpei.
Yeah.
Not much use though, I suppose.
No, not really. Keep me updated.
Okay.
She rubs her eyes again and tries to hold back a
You
yawn.
look wrecked.
Don't do that.
Sorry. Things are tough right now.
It'll get better. You'll cause some deaths soon enough.
My words have the strange effect of actually cheering her up slightly. I know we're not exactly the most normal people. The things we do, the causes we devote ourselves to, they're wrong. There's no other way to put it. I know this. I trust that Noriko knows this as well. We're morbid, sick, disgusting. Noriko slaughters innocent people in the name of Corpse Girl, a fabricated idol or alter ego or whatever else she could be. As for me, I've got as much blood on my hands as Noriko does. She likes to believe she's innocent, but the truth is that she's just as guilty as any killer. I don't see myself the same way. I know for a fact the things I've done are enough to put me behind bars for the rest of my life. I don't try to convince myself that I'm something I'm not. I'm a criminal, plain and simple. But Noriko's a kindred spirit. We're connected on some level that I don't expect the average person to understand. It's kindred spirit, isn't it? We're bonded by the things we've done, the death we've witnessed. Looking at her now, this tired girl worn thin by stress, I can't help but be reminded of Shizuko. I messed up with Shizuko. I didn't take the time we had together seriously. I took it all for granted. I won't make the same mistake with Noriko. I'll make her mine and I'll prove my love to her every day. Perhaps that will convince her to not discard me when I've run out of use.
Want something to eat?
She glances at me and opens her mouth, but weighs her words before speaking.
Thanks, but you know me.
I know.
Of course I know. I know so much about her. She doesn't eat, not unless she absolutely has to in order to live for another day.
Something light? A salad? want to share a meal with you.
I can't.
Okay, I understand.
Once I couldn't tell you, that's a word I've never heard before. Seen, yes, plenty of times. Heard, nay, yes, right? I've read it many times. I do, I get it. It's Noniko. Her convictions are what I admire most about her. Well, what would I say of her character if I could break her conviction with a simple invitation?
We should get married.
Huh?
A few days ago, you said you'd be mine.
I told you something like that, yeah. But that had a condition. You had to kill Junpei.
She's right, I didn't manage to kill him. Doesn't mean I don't deserve her.
Maybe there's something else I could do? Let me prove that I'm a man you can love.
Let me kill for you, baby.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'll take that. It's better than an outright no.
Maybe you should get going for now. I need to sleep.
Okay.
I'll leave her be. Should get some sleep myself.
Later.
Bye, Kojiro.
Something about the way she says my name sends a chill down my spine. It's not a pleasant sensation. It's not a feeling of elation or excitement. It's uncomfortable, disconcerting. I shrug it off and leave the factory. Ayo! Hello? I have an uncannily vivid recollection of dragging Shizuko's corpse through the streets on the night she was Excuse me? I had witnessed the collision. I watched speechless as the asshole who ran her down drove away like a coward. It took me a while to gather the strength to collect her crumpled body from the asphalt. By then it was around 7 o'clock. The sun had set, but a sliver of light still peeked over the horizon, tinting the sky with an orange hue. People kept screaming at me. Wasn't doing anything wrong, wasn't trying to smear Shizuko's blood on the sidewalk, just wanted to take her home. She was hurt or dead, no point in leaving her in the middle of the road. She didn't comment on my suit, got all dressed up just for her. Didn't comment on the ring, even as I slipped it on her stiff finger. She didn't say a word about the size of the diamond. But she made a unique sound as we walked. It rings in my ears now and then, especially when I catch myself in quiet moments. Didn't know what it was at the time. It punctured the silence between my heavy footsteps. Turns out the sound was caused by the fabric of her dress stretching and ripping against the coarse texture of the sidewalk. She made that sound for the entire journey home. My footsteps, thud, thud, Shizuko, shh, shh. People screaming, ah, yeah! The cacophony of irritating noises assaulted us during the entire expedition. Silence didn't rear its head until we arrived at our destination. It wasn't easy getting her up the stairs to my apartment. I carried her in my arms dozens of times, always effortlessly, but during that final ascent, Shizuko's weight exceeded the limit of my muscles. I had no choice but to drag her up slowly, a single step at a time. It wasn't my fault her head cracked against every step. Once we were inside, I finally had the opportunity to examine the damage. Her limbs were flattened, her chest had caved in, ribs crushed and ground into a fine dust. Remarkably, her beautiful face remained unmarred. She looked at peace, despite having died in pure agony not long before. And that was the last time I kissed her. I planted my lips on hers and found comfort in the slight warmth that still remained. And then I closed her eyes. Oh my god. My memory of that event is so clear that thinking about it feels like I'm reliving it again for the first time. Pain hasn't dulled, but I'm glad I don't live in that apartment anymore. Climbing those steps every day would only serve to remind me of dragging Shizuko behind me. I cut myself free from the chains that shackled me to her, but I can never destroy the memories. I think they haunt me to the end of my days. Perhaps that's why I'm so desperate to fill the void she left in my life. I'm desperate to distract myself with the love from another. And yet, at that time, I didn't want to let her go. I wanted to hold her cold, lifeless corpse to my body and simply waste away so I could join her in the afterlife. In fact, I was so attached to her corpse that I did something I'd never done before. Not once in all my history of toying with dead bodies. I decided to keep her. Yeah! Don't know whether it was out of despair or depression or desperation. Don't truly know why I decided to do such an odd thing. Possessed by a single disturbing idea, I emptied out a small storage closet in an old apartment, discarded everything within. And then I carefully, delicately, lovingly placed Shizuko inside the dark space. She stood up against the wall almost casually, almost like she was alive. I held her in place with some rope fastened to the wall, a loop around her neck, and a few bindings around her waist. She sagged a little, but it wasn't overly noticeable. There Shizuku stood before me. Though her gaze was lowered, I could almost fool myself into thinking she wanted to greet me. Or she wanted to simply say goodbye. So that's the moldy smell in Noriko's apartment. I bet she's still in there. Goodbye. Something I'd never considered saying to her. But I knew it was time. Time to say goodbye to her and to say goodbye to myself, to me that shared a life with her. The me that lived in shame of the things I'd done. Into that small storage room I piled the evidence of my guilt. All the macabre and sickening paraphernalia I'd collected over the years found a new home within that dark space. Photos of corpses, tomes written about embalming and mummification, countless books by Nobel Sinclair, that author I held so dearly to my heart. Everything and everyone that made up Kojiro found itself inside that room. Oh, fuck. The ceremonial act of locking away everything I once loved had a cathartic effect. But the moments after that aren't as clear in my mind. I know that I sealed up the room and concealed the door, but I don't recall the effort that went into doing so. I know that I decided to leave the apartment behind, but I don't recall talking to the landlord. I know that I tried to move on from being the person I once was, but I don't know how much I truly changed. Corpse in the wall, corpse in the wall. Because just over a year later, I'm still in this world taking part in truly disturbing acts. I'm still obsessed with the dead, and I'm still fawning over Noriko. Maybe people can't change after all. Maybe I've been fooling myself all this time into thinking that I'm different now, but I'm not. Paraphernalia, items of miscellany, essentially. Okay. I'm the same as I always was. I'm still just Kojiro. Maybe that's okay. Oh boy. Oh, to be a corpse hidden in a wall. Oh, to be the second game that has corpses in the wall. Or at least one singular corpse in a wall.
Really? What is it?
A few new cadavers were in the morgue when I arrived tonight.
Ah,
Also, I was thinking
what about?
something funny. We went to such lengths to make sure we didn't get caught stealing cadavers from here.
And?
Well, it's amusing that the entire place was ransacked by the human removal service, but no one ever investigated. No one here seemed to really care.
We tried so hard to cover our tracks, being careful about every single corpse we lifted. Then those assholes just waltzed in and stole everything without any repercussions.
Yeah.
It makes me sick. I want to bring them down.
Yeah.
Anyway, how many bodies came in today?
4. Not a great deal, but a start. Give it a week or two, and this place should be packed once more.
Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know.
Of course.
See you.
Later.
Since I've already catalogued the new arrivals, I figure I can relax for the rest of my shift. I plant myself on the uncomfortable steel chair parked near the morgue's entryway. A few moments later, I'm lost within the flashing lights on my phone screen. Don't know how long I zoned out for, but when I come to, Noriko's name is emblazoned across my screen. Strange for her to call me now since you spoke just before.
Yo,
You're not going to believe this.
try me.
Somebody requested a death.
Ah, that explains the excitement in her voice.
Congrats. It's been a while.
It's been far too long. I thought we were done for. I thought Corpse Girl's website had fallen into obscurity.
Happy for you.
Kojiro, we can't let this slip through our fingers. We need a victory here. This new request has to be fulfilled immediately. I want this victim to die with a bang.
Bang bang.
I want his death to propel Corpse Girl's name back into the limelight.
Roger. Awaiting your orders.
I'm sending you the Vic's photo. Get me a corpse that matches his appearance, just like usual.
Only got a handful of bodies here, remember? Going to be a long shot.
Do whatever the fuck you have to do.
Oh. Her icy cold command leaves no room to be
Copy
misinterpreted.
that.
Call ends, I immediately receive a message from Noriko. Opening it up reveals a photo of Corpse Girl's latest victim. Male, mid-30s or so, fairly unremarkable guy. Let's see what bodies are in stock. I heave myself off the steel chair and log into the morgue computer. Scanning through the inventory only takes a few seconds. There are 5 cadavers here in total, the 4 that arrived today, plus the Junpei Matsumoto look-alike. Bang bang, pull my devil trigger. Looking through the details reveals that of the 5, 3 are female and 2 are male. I immediately rule out using Junpei lookalike corpse for this request. It's a heavyset body and doesn't match the victim at all. I'll need to take a look at the other male, but I don't like the odds of finding a match. I navigate to the ice. Oh my god. I navigate to the cold chambers and open up the cage housing the corpse in question. The cold air spewing forth from the open compartment fogs up my glasses. I calmly remove them, wipe them against my coat, and return them to their rightful place. After unzipping the body bag, I'm met with the face of death, a sight I've become more than accustomed to after many long years working here. This guy is just as average looking as Corpse Girl's victim. Seems like the type of person you would notice in a crowd. He'd simply be a blur against a sea of bodies. Might be exactly what we need. I compare his features to those of the victim in the photo. He looks similar. Couldn't exactly mistake him for a relative, but maybe with a bit of Noriko's makeup handiwork, he might pass off as a close enough copy. Only one problem. Unzipping the body bag further reveals that this guy only has one arm. His left arm has been severed just below the elbow, leaving a surgical stump. It's something that he has clearly lived with for years because the area in question is clean. Probably had a prosthetic limb before being moved to the morgue. This particular feature is a deal breaker. Too hard to convince the victim that this is his own corpse if it's missing a limb. Although, perhaps Noriko could factor the missing limb into the cause of death. If I bloody the stump a bit, it could be made to look like he lost an arm before he died. I reach for my phone and call Noriko back, getting sick of the chit-chat.
You find a suitable corpse?
Almost. Got a guy about the same age and build. Plain face. Needs some work, but could do the job.
Great! I'll send Tomoe over with the van right away. What?
The body is missing an arm.
Oh, that is a problem.
Yeah. Can you edit the corpse photo so that the victim is missing an arm? Make it look like it got chopped off before he died. That way, when he receives the actual corpse, he'll be expecting a missing limb.
No.
No?
I'm already in the middle of making the photo. I'm not changing it now.
Girl.
Then I don't know what to tell you. Don't have any other suitable bodies.
Make it work, Kojiro.
The venomous tone
What
again.
can I do? Not going to roam the street and kill someone that looks like the Vic.
Come up with something else then.
Girl, what?
Hell, chop your own arm off and attach it to the corpse. I don't care what you do.
What?
But I need the body within the hour. If you let me down, I'll never be with you. Our relationship is tied to Corpse Girl's fate. If you let her down, you'll let me down. And I don't like being let down.
Girl. My phone beeps twice as if to protest Noriko abruptly ending the call.
Fantastic.
She likes backing me into corners. What am I supposed to do? It's clear that she doesn't really have any intention of being with me. She's using me, dangling the promise of something I desire right in front of me. And yet, I need to have her. I need to prove to her that she should be with me. I lower my glasses and gently rub my brow with my fingers.
Shit.
Got an idea, but I can't believe I'm about to do this. I slide my glasses back up and adjust them so they're comfortable once more. I fetched a mobile mortuary lift and angled underneath the tray protruding from the open cold chamber. With a great deal of effort, I detached the tray from the chamber. It rests upon the top of the mortuary lift, allowing me to wheel the corpse across the morgue. After pushing it halfway across the open room, I let the wheels come to a stop directly underneath one of the ceiling's glaring fluorescent lights. With that done, I turn and rummage around in the cabinet. I sort through a number of tools until I find what I'm looking for. Clutching the surreal implement in a shaking hand, I return to the corpse lying atop the steel tray. I roll up the sleeves of my coat.
For Noriko.
No!
Here goes.
Bro! Don't do it! Oh! When the metal bone saw digs into the soft flesh of my arm, I have to grit my teeth to refrain from screaming. I angle the blade so that it cuts away from my elbow. Need to leave that intact. The cutting process is pure agony. To prevent myself from passing out, I keep my breathing steady and try to focus on something simple. Something my brain can handle while aflame with pain. I begin to count. 1, 2, 3. I count the seconds that it takes for the jagged metal saw to reach the bone. 15, 16. Still just flesh and muscle and blood spurting down my coat. 20, 21. I think I reached sinew after 24 seconds, but it's hard to tell because it's a terrible numbness that is somehow worse than the original searing agony. My fingers clutching the saw begin to slip due to perspiration. It's getting harder to even hold the tool. After some 33 seconds, the saw hits bone. I slided back and forth, cutting into the dense matter with as much strength as my failing body can muster. Vomit and drool have soaked the front of my coat and begin to smear together with the blood. It's forming a shallow pool at my feet, and the stank of the mixing liquids threatens to overwhelm my senses. Counting the seconds has become infinitely more difficult. 43, 44, 4, 30. Was it 21 seconds so far? No, it's been longer than that. It has to have been a minute by now. I've been sawing into my own arm for a full minute, but the blade still hasn't cut through all of the bone. Don't recall when I fell to my knees. Don't recall when I stood back up. Don't recall running my slimy fingers through my hair when flecks of blood spattered against my glasses or when my bladder relieved itself. Oh god, bro. Don't even recall why I'm doing this. Is it for Shizuko? Is it because I love her? No, Noriko. He could have just cut into one of the other bodies, yeah, right? So Noriko, actually it's for Corpse Girl. I have to prove I'm worthy of her. I have to be loved by her. There's nothing else for me. 97, 98. As my count reaches 99 seconds, my right arm falls to a wet tile floor, flopping like a dead fish against the deck of a boat. I let out a groan of what can only be called relief, and I slump in on myself, resting in a pool of foul liquid. My vision is blurry, my breathing is ragged. The sane part of my consciousness knows that I need to treat my wound. The sane part? I need to apply a tourniquet or cauterize the damage, or I'm just going to bleed out and die on the floor of my own morgue. But a quiet voice in my mind, the very same one that drove me to such an extreme measure, urges me to finish my work. Getting to my feet is a struggle. You know what? Hold on, 1 second. One thing that keeps fucking me up is like he always says my morgue, but it's not his morgue, he just works there, right? I tried to push myself up off the ground using both arms, but of course, I fall flat on my face when my right arm fails to react to my mental instructions. I think the lenses in my glasses smashed against the tiles because my eyes seem to be bleeding now. A second attempt at pushing off the ground is more successful. My left arm is somehow strong enough to hoist my barely responsive body. I sway and stagger around aimlessly before collecting myself enough to attempt to fish my severed arm off the ground. Luckily, I managed to grasp the blood and vomit-soaked wrist of my former limb with my one good hand. I drag myself toward the mortuary lift that holds aloft the corpse I need to attach my arm to. The morgue has been his playground for years. At this point, he probably does consider it his morgue regardless of whether or not it is. Yeah, I guess. But I didn't think this through. I don't really know how to attach a severed limb. I bludgeon the corpse's stump with my user's arm, trying to find some point of connection that will magically fuse the limb to the corpse. It's hopeless. And as I madly flail the arm around, I can't help but laugh at the whole situation. Of course I can't attach my arm to this corpse. Oh, you motherfucker, you took the wrong arm! The corpse is missing its left arm! I cut off my right arm.
Good one.
I throw my uselessly touched arm behind me and rest my very body against the mortuary lid. Accompanying my laugh is the laugh of somebody else nearby. I have to listen really intently to confirm that I'm not just hallucinating. But I'm certain that somebody just walks into my line of vision, even if they're nothing more than a dark blurred silhouette. Oh no.
Yo, bro. You don't look so hot.
Hey! Hey!
What'd you do? Cut off your own arm?
I know the voice, but I can't place it right now. It's not my voice and it's not Noriko's voice.
Want me to take the pain away?
Yes, please. I'd give anything to remove the pain. I can't voice my consent. My mouth is dry, my jaw locked in place.
Here. Nothing a little fire can't fix.
The figure comes closer. He smells foul, like a dog that has bathed in gasoline. Dog. The heavyset figure that I now assume is Junpei Matsumoto is crouched over me. The smell of gasoline intensifies as he pours some sort of cold liquid all over my clothes.
Hey, I gotta light this place up. But you guys didn't get the hint when we stole all of your corpses. Well, you ain't gonna be nothing without your precious morgue. And Corpse Girl is gonna wither away without her right hand man. Get it, Kojimbo?
The way he deliberately mispronounces my name really bothers me. It bothers me so much that the anger boiling inside me gives me the strength to open my mouth once more.
It's Kojiro. Sure, bro. Sleep tight.
The dog lifts his body and disappears into oblivion beyond my sight. The unmistakable sound of a match being struck should fill me with panic, but I feel strangely calm. Warm, glowing tendrils of flame flicker around the outskirts of my vision. Fire. The entire morgue is alight. The acrid smell of smoke quickly covers up the odor of gasoline. Fire. I lost my family to fire so many years ago. Maybe it's fitting that I should perish in the same way. Fire. I hate fire. I hate it and fear it. Fire. It's everywhere, surrounding me. A sickening stench of burning flesh permeates my nostrils, and I realize that it's the smell of my severed arm being incinerated behind me. Fire. I close my eyes. Really sleepy right now. That's a lot of blood after all.
Sorry, Noriko. Sorry I loved you.
Is this the end of his? Yeah, Act 2 clear, okay. Act 3, Aoi Sato! Ooh. 1 month later. That's one way to trim the cast. Everyone just dies at the end of their own act. Oh, I'm so bad. I really wish I could scream at him. I really, really, really want to scream. But he's one of my best customers. I just wish he would take the rules seriously.
I said no free refills.
The squeak of my voice surprises even me. Gosh, I've never yelled at a customer before. It feels so liberating. I feel free. The customer hangs his head. He looks as guilty as I feel on the inside. Oh gosh, I shouldn't have raised my voice at him. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm going to get fired for this. I just know it.
Sorry, Miss Aoi. I'll never ask again, I promise.
Make sure you don't.
Just a favorite anime Akamega kill. Why? Do they also kill off the cast? That's it. Don't let him see you back down. Be firm, girl. Stand up for yourself. The customer scurries away and I nearly faint from the adrenaline pounding through me. What a rush. Can't believe I didn't back down.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
When I feel like I've calmed down, I fetch a cloth and begin to wipe down some tables. This place hasn't been too busy lately. I still shake when I think about the incident last month that drove away a lot of our customers. That man, that tall scary man with glasses and an evil face. He hurt my sweet little Junpei. He cornered him in his merry cafe and stabbed his fingers with cutlery. What kind of sick freak does such a thing? I know there's something between those two. I can't ever forget the time the man left Junpei all bruised and broken on the ground outside his apartment. I hate that man. Who does he think he is, bullying my sweetheart? A pleasant little chime rings out from my pocket, and I recognize it as the notification I set to let me know when the cafe is closing.
Phew. Guess I better get going.
Luckily for me, I'm not on closing duty tonight. My coworkers will take care of all of that. All I need to do is sign out of the employee app on my phone, and my full shift will be automatically recorded. Then I get paid on time, just like usual.
Bye, everyone.
I wave farewell to the other girls and duck out the front door. Ow, that's nice. She's definitely yandere for Junpei. Oh, she's gonna go fucking crazy. I can smell it. As usual, my cute little honeybee is awaiting me outside.
Sup, baby doll?
Oh god.
Junpei.
Ew. I rush into his arms and give him a big, snuggly cuddle.
I'm so happy to see you.
Of course, babe. I'm always here for you.
Ah!
How was your shift?
Not so bad.
Glad to hear it. Guess things really have changed around here.
Yep. It's so much better since the old manager left.
Good.
Who's not
good.
crazy in this game?
You come
Very
tell Junpei
true.
if anyone else gives you trouble, yeah?
I will.
I nuzzle into his broad chest once more and immediately feel safe and warm.
Can I come back to your place?
Referring to full of tortures, bullying already out as being equally low and sad as everyone else in this game. True.
Yes.
Ooh. He holds my hand and leads me toward the train station. I'm so excited to be with him again. Oh, what's her place gonna be like? Oh.
Would you like tea, my dear?
Wow, that's very sleek, very modern.
Whoa now, Sugar Plum. You've been serving drinks to people all day. You go kick your feet up and I'll do the brewing.
Junpei's so thoughtful. Every word he says makes it clear how much he cares for me.
Thank you.
I heed his instruction and nestle myself comfortably into the sofa. As I wait for him to finish up in the kitchen, I scroll through my noise feed. I don't have that many friends on here, mainly just family members, but I still like to see what everybody's up to lately. But you know what's interesting? None of the text for her is colored. Oh, no. You know, the noise here is colored, but when we actually saw it for her, it was not colored. Hold on. Oh, American Jumper's voices. After scrolling for a minute, I come across a status update from a friend I haven't heard from in a while. Noriko Kurosawa. Oh, 2 hours ago. Hey, 3. Eh?
What does that mean?
My entire post is short and meaningless. It just says, hey, 3. What on earth could she mean by that? When was the last time I talked to Noriko anyway? She used to call me all the time. I used to call her too. But somewhere along the line we fell out of touch. After I introduced her to Junpei, I kind of got the feeling she was jealous. Jealous. Noriko always had feelings for me. Maybe being introduced to my boyfriend really hurt her. Good evening! Welcome to Scuff! Oh, now I feel terrible.
Your tea, my love!
Junpei sets down 2 teacups on a small coffee table in front of the sofa. Steam rises slowly from both cups. The silent scent immediately relaxes me. Oh, yeah. Noriko did apparently confess to her years ago. And she rejected her.
Thank you, Pumpkin.
Oh! The fucking... The names they call each other. Junpei scoots onto the sofa right next to me and he leans his head on my shoulder. I raise a hand running through his hair as I continue scrolling through noise with my other hand. A post from a guy I went to school with, Shinya Fujikawa, grabs my attention. One step closer to solving the mystery of the deaths around Tokyo, helping my father collect evidence from the crime scenes. It's like a dream come true, thank you, father. Interesting, I think Shinya always wanted to be a detective. Come to think of it, we were supposed to work together at Temujin. Shinya lined up that job for me and I...
Who's this dude?
Junpei's gaze is fixated on Shinya's profile picture.
Oh, Shinya?
I tap on his pic and load his full profile.
We went to school together.
You write equally bad lovers' nicknames, sometimes worse ones. No, I'm not good with those. I scan through his profile and read some more of his recent posts. My father has enlisted me to help his top secret investigation, he says, posting about it on his very much not top secret profile. Oh, he's gonna fucking die. Can't divulge any further information. You are already posting about it, my guy. My lips are sealed, top secret. So happy that I managed to get a lead on this case. I submitted some information to the detective in charge of the serial murders around Tokyo, Senior Detective Fujikawa, who just happens to also be my father, and he said I can join the investigation team as a probationary member.
This guy has a real father complex, doesn't he?
Maybe.
No one tells you what to expect when you experience heartbreak. No one tells you how hollow and empty you will feel. It's important to throw yourself into your work. I will do so. Oh no! Did she break up with him?
Heartbreak? Something about this dude tells me he's never had a girlfriend in his life.
Huh. I wonder...
Farewell, my love. I'm sorry I couldn't be the man you wanted me to be. To Tomo Watanabe, my soulmate, my other half, my one and everything. Please forgive me.
Jeez. Have some dignity,
Wait, did
dude.
he break up with her?
Wow. He really likes to share everything, doesn't he? I swear, he never used to be this dramatic.
Junpei yawns and puts his arm around me. Classic move. He's so sweet and romantic. I put my phone down and snuggle into his body. He's like a big, soft teddy bear.
I should get going once I finish this cup of tea.
Really? Do you have to go?
Yeah, sorry, babe. I gotta check in on Mom tonight.
Oh, okay.
You'll be okay, right?
Thought of being alone forms a pit in my stomach.
Don't worry. I'll help you out before I leave.
Thank you.
Junpei takes one last sip of his tea and gets to his feet.
I'll check the usual stuff.
Yes, please.
He walks behind the sofa and ruffles my hair with his rough hand. The bandages wrapped around his fingers feel coarse against my scalp. As he wanders around my small apartment, he calls out to me.
Oven and stovetop are both switched off. The kitchen tap is off, no drips.
He moves into the bathroom and his voice echoes against the tiled
Tap
wall.
is off in here too. And the shower is off.
I think she might have some kind of OCD. Finally, he moves to the front
I'll
door.
lock this door properly when I walk out. You just have to put the deadbolt in place, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Anytime, sugar. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Sugar is a good one. Okay, I can accept sugar.
Okay.
Love.
With that, Junpei walks out the door and closes it behind him. I quickly dash from the sofa to the door and slide the deadbolt into place.
All done. The door is locked. The door is locked. The door is locked.
I take a deep breath and tiptoe back to the sofa, then collapse onto it. Junpei's so good to me. He truly helps me out. When I'm alone, I find it so hard to be sure that everything is in order. I can't sleep or leave the apartment if there's a possibility that I've left the tap running or an appliance switched on. I can't relax if I think the door might be unlocked. I have to check things again and again until there's no shadow of a doubt that things are the way they should be. I don't remember when this obsessive-compulsive behavior started. Yeah. They're so cute together. But I've been battling it for as long as I can recall. At the very least, when Junpei is here, he checks everything for me. He's so good to me. It saves me so much time. It stops me from having to stand in front of the kitchen sink for 5 minutes, constantly checking and double-checking if the tap is running. Logically, I know it's easy to see if water is flowing from the faucet. You can see it, you can hear it, and you can feel it if you slip your hand underneath the flow. But logic rarely applies when I find myself second-guessing my own senses. I can glance at the faucet and tell myself that it's been turned off properly, it's not dripping. But when I turn away, what if I'm wrong? What if it's actually still running? I feel like my mind is betraying me. I feel like I can trust anything I see or hear. When in doubt, this should be a simple matter of just quickly checking one more time. But the more I check, the less certain I become. And it's not just the faucet I have trouble dealing with. It's nearly everything. I unplug appliances from the power sockets to make sure they're definitely not still running. I flick light switches on and off 20 times in a row to ensure I haven't left the bulb on when I leave a room. I open and close doors repetitively, and locks are the worst. I have to examine them from every possible angle to convince myself that no one can possibly break in. My condition is completely and utterly fucked up. Struggling against it has caused other horrible afflictions to evolve inside of me. Anxiety, depression, self-hatred. I just feel like I can't do anything without the shadow of my compulsive behaviors looming over me and controlling me. And so tonight, like many other nights, I decide to sleep right where I am, here on the sofa. Getting up and going into my bedroom is too much effort. Sleeping where I am is just much, much easier. I begin to drift off, my face planted against the sofa cushion, my legs draped over the armrest. I mean, if you have a comfortable sofa, you might as well sleep there. I don't have a sofa. I have my bed, and I have one chair. I don't really have any other places to sit in this apartment, so like... I'm thankful I don't have to work at the maid cafe today. My neck is a little sore from a terrible night's sleep, but I won't let that get me down. It's Monday, the start of a fresh, brand new week. I've got lots of exciting things to look forward to. For starters, I'm expecting a delivery of some items I ordered online over the weekend. It's mostly snack food, but still, I can't wait. Secondly, I get to see my Junpei again this afternoon. I'm going to go meet him when he finishes work. Third, my favorite anime airs on Monday nights. There's a new episode every week, well, except for when everyone repeats after the season has just finished. No couch gang, rise up! Woo! Junpei loves anime as much as I do. Granted, he's not into my favorite series. He says it's a little too girly, but he likes a lot of the other shows. We have so much fun discussing characters and stories we like, even if the shows he watches scare me a little bit. Yes, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good week. My upbeat mood is instantly shattered when Noriko Kurosawa's name lights up on my phone screen. She's calling me? We haven't spoken in so long. Why? What does she want from me? Noriko, she's such a chore. She whines and complains so much about her life, but she doesn't know how good she has it. So what if she's scared of leaving her apartment? Agoraphobia isn't that bad. I'm scared of everything. Everything. She's so selfish, thinking she's the only one who has it rough. I'm so tired of tiptoeing around her feelings and her stupid sensitivities. Oh, there it is. Here we fucking go.
Aoi? Hi, Noriko. Hey, listen. I know it's been a while, but can I stay at your place for a few days? I got booted out of my apartment for not paying the rent, and, well, I was living in this abandoned factory,
Would you
but...
look at that. Agoraphobia is not bad, and I took offense to that. Which one is agoraphobia specifically again? I know I've heard it before, but...
I can't do it anymore. I hate being there alone. The guy I was spending time with just disappeared, and now... Allie? Are you there?
Is this crazy bitch for real? She hasn't spoken to me for weeks, months, and now she wants to live in my apartment?
Allie? You can't stay here.
Oh.
Well, fuck you too.
My phone beeps twice and the call abruptly ends. What the hell is her problem? We have inescapable errors in situations. Ah. Before I can even blink, she calls me again. I'm hesitant to answer this time, but...
Noriko? Sorry, I overreacted. I think I'm in trouble. I think Corpse Girl is trying to kill me, and I need somewhere safe to stay.
Corpse Girl is trying to kill her? I think Noriko has finally lost the plot. Whatever sliver of sanity she once held onto has finally slipped between her fingers.
Noriko, Corpse Girl isn't trying to kill you. What? How would you know? You are Corpse Girl. Remember? What? How do you... I'm the one who wants to kill you.
Huh?
I'm going to fucking murder you in your sleep.
Alright. Noriko's silence convinces me that her memories are returning. Perhaps she called me in some delirious state or because of some fever dream. The call disconnects as she curses. Stupid bitch. Did she seriously forget who she was talking to? I've had it up to here with her. As soon as Junpei works at the location of her factory, I'm going to go there myself and slit her throat open with my fingernails. Hello! Thank you for the fans! Thank you for the idle time! I mean, we were waiting for it, but I didn't think they would outright have us say it like that. I let her bleed out all over me and tell her that she never meant a thing to me. I don't care how much she loves me. I'll end her life quickly before she has a chance to confess her feelings with one last gasping, dying breath. Once Noriko is dead, the human removal service will no longer have any competition, and I'll finally be able to take her place as Corpse Girl. Of course it's her! Dun 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 dun! Who would have fucking guessed? What the hell is happening? During our school years, I was always envious of Noriko. She was so beautiful, so slim and graceful, and she had a wonderful family, parents that loved her more than anything. I never had any of that. I wanted so badly to be her. I struggled with my weight back then, but that wasn't the worst of it. I had an abusive mother and a father that essentially ignored my existence. Well, until he killed me by splitting my neck open. Excuse me? I would have given anything to trade places with Noriko and feel alive again. It didn't matter to me that Noriko complained about every aspect of her life. She moaned about how much she despised her delinquent sister. She griped about how her father walked out on her but still sent her a birthday card every year. She lamented over the time her mother tried to kill herself in front of her and her sister, how her mother hung from the ceiling barely alive for hours and hours until Yuriko figured out how to call for an ambulance. But I would have taken all of that trauma over my own upbringing. I'd have traded my life for hers without a second thought. Noriko had no idea how lucky she was. Even after all these years, I never really overcame my envy of her. I even went as far as to request her death through Corpse Girl's website. There it is! We kind of expected that one! Well, she didn't die. How could she have? Junpei figured it out before I did. He forced his way into Corpse Girl's website and viewed all of the death requests. Someone, Noriko, had placed a comment on the request I submitted. A single line of text never intended to be seen by other eyes. That's me, bitch! Knowing that she had become Corpse Girl made my jealousy grow. I wanted to take her place. I wanted people to fear me just like they feared her. I wanted any other life, anything that would let me escape my own hellish half-existence. Thanks to trolling to her website, Junpei soon figured out the whole thing was essentially a hoax. Corpse Girl had no ability to cause death. Noriko was simply trying to con people into ending their own lives. It was pathetic. It made me laugh. I decided I would play along with Noriko's delusions in order to ensure her downfall. It's finally time. I get to meet Junpei at the station and walk him home. Yay! Oh, now it's actually colored. The Noise Corporation office is within walking distance from Shinjuku train station. Getting there is a breeze. Junpei works on the 30th floor of the massive office complex. He's one of the top dogs. He's worked really hard to get to where he is. I'm so proud of him. It's kind of funny to think that I almost got a job near here. The Temujin building is so close to Junpei's office. Noriko and Shinya hooked me up, but I completely bailed on them. Oh well, at the time I had no idea the love of my life walked nearby. I think I'm right on time, so Junpei should be here any second. As I wait patiently, a familiar-looking girl climbs the stairs and wanders past me. Her outfit is kind of unprofessional. I wonder if she's an office employee. She looks a bit like a troublemaker. I haven't seen her before. She caught me staring at her. Oh no, she's walking toward me.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
Oh no, Tomoe! You gotta run. You're the most sane out of all of the characters here. You gotta get out of here, bitch. No time to run away. She's right in front of me.
Yeah, you're Noriko's friend, right? Aoi?
Noriko's friend? Everything's always about fucking Noriko.
Yes, and you are...
The brash girl swoops her out of her face and leers at me.
Tomoe, a friend of hers as well.
Oh,
I suddenly remember where I've seen Tomoe before. I think she was in some of Shinya's photos. Is she the girl that Shinya was dating and broke up with?
how is Noriko?
Dunno. Was hoping you could tell me. Haven't seen that skank in weeks.
I see. I haven't seen her either.
Righto. Well, I'll see you around.
Just like that, the girl brushes past me and doesn't even look back. I watch her as she wanders along the platform.
Yo, babe!
Junpei!
What up, doll? Hey, that chick you were just talking to? She works at Temujin. I see her walking around here all the time. She's the one I told you about.
Wait, that's her?
Yup. She used to help that Kochiro asshole deliver putties for Corpse Girl. I've been waiting for ages to introduce you to. Oh!
I nod at Junpei and immediately break into a
Go
run.
get her, babe.
Oh no, what's happening? Junpei cheers fate as I leave him behind. Tomoe, she's the one helping Noriko, helping Corpse Girl. We've been waiting for a chance to follow her. Junpei has been keeping an eye on her, but her actions and movements are erratic and hard to predict. But today I fortunately have the opportunity to follow her. She's connected to so many people. Noriko, Kojiro, Shinya. They're all involved with Corpse Girl's operation. Shinya hasn't done anything. We want to check them all down one by one and cremate them like cadavers. Of course, I'm saving Noriko for last. I'll slice her open, bathe in her blood, and be born again from her core. Ooh. I'll assume my identity and live her life and leave my own painful existence behind. I race along as fast as my legs will let me. My feet pound against the train platform, and several people passing by stop to watch me out of curiosity. As long as Tomoe doesn't notice I'm tailing her, then I don't care who sees me. I follow her all the way to the end of the platform, then I blend into the crowd as we board the same train. Oh my god, yeah, you're fucking crazy. I knock on the door to what I can only assume is Tomoe's apartment. She answers after just a moment and shoots me a quizzical look. As soon as the door is all the way open, I dash forward and slam into Tomoe with the full force of my tiny body.
Fuck!
We tumble into the apartment, though Tomoe doesn't even lose her balance. She's a lot bulkier than I am. She absorbs most of the impact and manages to remain standing. She grits her teeth and plants her hands on my shoulders, only to push me back with a mighty shot.
What the fuck are you playing at? You just tackled me!
I swing a fist at her face. She catches me off guard when she sidesteps my punch and brings her knee up into my gut. I reel back, but the injury doesn't bother me.
Take that, you dumb skank! I'll teach you to attack me! I don't care if you're Noriko's friend! I'll put you in the fucking ground!
Go, Tomoe! Her long fake nails rake across my face and blood pours from my torn skin, but I stand firm and stare her down.
You're allied with Corpse Girl, right?
Is that what this is about? I don't give a shit about all that anymore. It's all behind me.
You know Corpse Girl's identity?
Of course I do. Why? Are you curious? Got someone you want to have killed?
No. I know that it's Noriko.
You're damn right. I should have guessed that a friend of hers would be just as psychotic. Noriko can go fuck herself for all I care. I'm done with her shit.
So am I. I'm going to kill her.
Tomoe raises an eyebrow.
Not so? Well, she kinda has it coming.
I see.
Corpse Girl is done and dusted. Doubt the public even remembers her these days. It's all about the human removal service. Noriko's just Noriko now. But I still won't forgive her for what she did to Kojiro.
What's she talking about? Does she know something I don't?
What happened to Kojiro?
Do you even know who he is?
I do.
He warned me about her, you know? He said she'd discard us as soon as we weren't useful anymore. Sure enough, she had him killed. Fucking burned him alive.
Interesting. Toma thinks Noriko killed Kojiro, when in reality, Junpei took care of that freak. He burned the entire morgue down around him. I suppose Kojiro's death caused Noriko's and Tomo's relationship to fall apart. Everything worked out better than Junpei planned.
Noriko will die, and so will you for your role in helping her.
Oh, come on! Why are you so insistent on messing with me? Hang on.
Ah! God damn it. I ain't ever done nothing to you. To you. Even though this girl includes an area of stupidity, I didn't expect her to actually be this dense. Surely she figured it out by now.
Are you with the human removal service?
Yeah, no. I don't say anything.
You're kidding me. You're the one Noriko has been fighting against this whole time. And you're her best friend.
Your point?
Are you the leader of your little crew?
No.
Right.
When Tomoe pauses to brush her hair behind her ear, I strike. My hand darts forward and grips her throat, and I begin to crush it between my fingers. The girl kicks and flails. She beats her fists against my outstretched arm, but I don't flinch. Her gurgling and trashing brings me no joy. I wish people would simply accept their fate. Despite how tightly I'm squeezing her throat, she manages to form the beginning of a word. I can only guess she's trying to call for Shinya. Shinya, the idiot boy she already broke up with. He can't save her now. I take my grip and stride forward, pushing Tomoe back and pinning her against the wall. She kicks out at me and hits me directly in the knee. I refuse to buckle. Her fingers continuously clawed my arm, slashing into my flesh and sending flecks of blood across the room. She thinks she can hurt me, thinks she can fight a way out of her fate, but nothing she does will ever injure me. You can't hurt the dead. This thought repeats in my mind as my face crashes into the floor. A ringing sound in my ears causes me to question what just happened. The residual shockwaves of a dull impact to my skull flow through my hand. I wouldn't call it pain or even an ache, just the sensation that something collided with me. But I'm already on the floor, my lips pressed against the hardwood, my eyes twitching and examining shards of pottery falling to the floor around me. A blanket of darkness descends over me, and I hear the ragged sound of Tomoe breathing and someone's voice asking, "Are you okay?" But the question isn't directed at me. I don't think anyone cares that I'm lying here in my own blood. I can't count how many movies I've seen where characters claim they had an out-of-body experience. I've heard the stories in real life too. People on the brink of death or unconsciousness tell tales of how they could view their own body from a lofty spiritual perch. I never put much stock into such nonsense. How can someone dead or dying view the world with any form of clarity? When I died all those years ago, I didn't experience any such thing. It was kind of disappointing, even though I didn't expect much. Being clubbed across the head in Tomoe's apartment was a completely different experience than the time glass shards pierced my neck. I feel like I'm teetering on the edge of consciousness, writhing around on the hard floor. I can see some light, some blurred shapes, and I can see my body down below. My body, delicate and frail and slowly decaying. I don't get it. Why would I have an out-of-body experience now of all times? I sure as hell didn't experience anything of the sort when my father slit my neck, so why now? I wonder if any of my victims ever suffered from hallucinations like this before dying. Did Kotomi Ida and all those people on the train platform experience this after I cut them open? Did they also helplessly look down on their own bodies from above as the train screeched past? Amy Katsuno, boy, did she scream when I pushed her over the balcony railing. Did the spirit leave her body to look down on the splattered corpse? What about the other nameless skulls I've claimed from Noriko's website? There have been so many bodies piled up, countless gifts pledged in Corpse Girl's name. I didn't kill them because I wanted to shed blood, I did it to delude Noriko. That was the goal at the start anyway. So it was someone else killing them, ha 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 ha. Noriko never caught on to what I was doing. She took all the credit thinking she was some all-powerful being in control of the fate of her victims. She never even tried to understand the truth. I slaved away for her, cutting and strangling and slashing and slicing. I piled up bodies for Noriko, but Corpse Girl claimed all the kills. It was a pointless endeavor. I think she would have spiraled into madness even without the power trap. I suppose it doesn't matter now. Things have changed. My only focus now is to kill Noriko. I should have done so right at the start. I'll kill her for wasting my time. As I look down on my body below, I see a girl too scared to go on, too scared to struggle anymore. It's a shame. If I wasn't killed years ago, I might have had the chance to live a normal life. Well, there's nothing else for it. I feel my spirit returning to my body. It's a strange sensation, because I know I'm not returning to life. Or could I? I've been dead far too long. My only chance is to claim Noriko's life for my own. I'll become her and discard this rotting, walking corpse. I don't think she outright, like, died. I still don't think there's a supernatural element to this. I think she might have just come very close to it if her dad actually slit her neck and it's now just like her experience of her having like mentally chosen to be dead. That kind of thing where she's like, oh, I've already died, but I can hardly see without my glasses. Everything is blurry, foggy, lacking a solid outline. Hi! Welcome to Scuff! How you doing? Colors bleed into other colors. Blue blends into purple and yellow melts into brown. It doesn't help that I'm partially colorblind. Never had much luck telling red and green apart anyway. She has a hell of a paint tolerance. She does. Without my glasses, I'm practically blind. Helpless.
You're finally awake.
Aye.
Fucking skank.
She spits at me and a filthy saliva drips down the side of my face. It's warm. I try to lash out at her, only to find my arms have been bound to my side. I try to scream out, but my mouth is gagged with what I can only assume is a sock. I try to lunge forward, but I'm strapped tightly to the wooden chair I'm sitting in.
I can't believe this.
Oh, good luck with the drawing.
This is so strange. I just...
Shut up, Shinya. Jeez.
Sorry.
The blood forms of Tomo and Shinya are pacing the room. Even without my full vision, I can tell that the room is bright. Sunlight is pouring in from the open window. Just how much time passed since I was knocked unconscious, and why have they tied me up here? I scream into the mouth gag, somehow loud enough to capture their attention. Tomo strides toward me and pulls the damn sock from my mouth.
What? What do you want?
I mumble something about being unable to see. Tomo swears, stumbles around for a bit, and forcefully pushes my glasses onto my face.
What are you going to do to me?
I don't know. That's up to this genius.
Her arm gestures towards Shinya, pointed finger loaded with accusation.
Me? Look, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I just saw you were in trouble, so...
Why are you here anyway? We're done. Over.
I wanted to see you.
Ah!
I'm not in the mood for the lover's quarrel.
Let me go. Or bury me. Either way. Don't keep me here.
You nearly killed me, bitch! It's taken all my strength not to murder you right here!
Go ahead. Try it. You can't kill the dead.
You're a freak.
Let me call my father. I'm sure he can take her in for questioning. He can find out her motives for attacking you.
I already know why she attacked me. She's trying to take down everyone associated with
Tomo cuts herself short.
Never mind that.
I wonder, is Shinya not privy to Tomo's relationship with Corpse Girl? Intriguing. As Tomo's former boyfriend, I simply assumed he was a part of the operation. I thought he was an accomplice. If he doesn't know anything, then I don't need to kill him. One last person to deal with before I go after Noriko. She almost fucking gave that one. The music is scary. It is a scary game. Have I need to focus on getting out of here first.
If you let me go, I'll never bother you again.
A lie.
Why should I believe you? You followed me to my freaking home!
I'm sorry.
Lie.
Then I'll exchange information for my release. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Lie, lie, lie.
Like I care! I'm done with all the shit between Noriko and you!
Noriko? Has she got something to do with this?
Shut up, Shinya!
Shinya, perhaps he's my ticket out of here. I turn my hat to him and wait until he looks directly at me.
Shinya, I'm so thirsty. Can I have some water?
He pauses, but since Tomo doesn't interfere, he ducks out of sight. He turns within seconds, holding a half-filled cup out to me.
Here.
I bob forward as best as I can against my restraints and take a sip of the lukewarm tap water.
Thank you.
It's worth noting how easy he is to manipulate. He's the complete opposite of my Junpei, who's strong and independent and doesn't let anyone mess with him.
So, about my offer, will you let me go if I share information about the human removal service?
Shinya's face turns pale.
The human removal service? That's...
I really couldn't care less about all of that. I told you, I'm done with everything.
I see.
Tomoe, She might have information that can assist with my investigation. We have to accept her offer.
Oh, please. You're no cop as much as you fancy pretending to be one.
I already told you that Father accepted me as part of the investigation team.
You're a hack, a wannabe.
Why can't you just be happy for me?
Shut up. Shut up, shut up!
Thomas storms off, the sheer force of her anger causing the walls to tremble. Shinya and I are alone in the room. I don't waste another second.
Shinya, I don't know everything that's going on, but it sounds like you're trying to solve the murder cases, right?
That's right. I'm really helping the investigation team, you know?
That's good. Very good. Please, I have information that might help you. Will you let me go if I share it with you?
His nervous eyes dart around, searching for any sign of Thomas' presence, and then he looks me dead in the eyes and says the very last thing I ever expected to hear.
I'll let you go if you help me kill Noriko Kurosawa.
Huh? Wait, huh?
This is your apartment?
What? Shinya?
Yes.
Please forgive me for intruding.
Shinya bows politely and removes his shoes. He places them carefully in front of the doorstep and takes a stride forward. Does he know? Takes a good look around before turning to me.
You have a nice place.
Oh, please. I wish he would cut the formalities. We're here to discuss serious business. He's acting like we're new co-workers or something. I walk over to the door and make sure it's fully closed. I slide the deadbolt into place.
The door is locked.
I whisper this under my breath so Shinya can't hear me.
The door is locked.
Repeating phrases like this has become a sort of mantra. It helps me concentrate. When I'm about 90% sure the door is actually locked, I wander back to Shinya. It takes all of my willpower to refrain from turning back and checking once more. Thankfully, Shinya distracts me from my inner turmoil.
Is everything you told me true? I want to make sure I have all the facts straight.
The poor guy was so screaming at him, but...
Yes, it's true. All of...
Truth intermingled with lies is still the truth, right? I like how when Toma left the two of us alone in her apartment. If I'd explained things to her, I would have had to give her inside information on the Human Removal Service's operations. Anything less could have clashed with her existing knowledge and caused her to doubt me. But since I only had to explain things to Shinya, I had already determined that Shinya wasn't in the loop, so I concocted a convincing lie in order to secure his cooperation.
Just want to get my head around it.
And he bought it.
Noriko Kurosawa is Corpse Girl.
Yeah.
She's the one that was behind the initial string of murders across the city. She delivered photos and corpses to her victims in order to convince them that they would die soon. And that had the effect of causing people to kill themselves. Almost a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Of course, all of this part is true, kind of. Shinya doesn't need to know that I acted behind the scenes and brought the victims low by my own hands. Those acts of violence almost seem like a distant memory now. I was so committed to aiding Noriko that I couldn't think of anything else. In the end, my existence didn't help my own situation. I only propelled Noriko's ego into the stars and continued to suffer my courage to have existed.
But it wasn't long before another group started killing people in much the same way as Noriko did. A group called the Human Removal Service. They've killed hundreds, if not thousands of people in the past months.
Again, all true so far.
And you were enslaved by Noriko?
Oh.
Forced against your will to infiltrate the Human Removal Service and bring them down from the inside?
That's right.
He's a fucking idiot.
That explains why you want to kill Noriko. You want to be free from her. Even if it isn't exactly the legal thing to do.
Oh my god. Legal? What kind of pedestal is this guy standing on? He specifically requested assistance to do the exact same thing. He wants Noriko dead just like I do.
But if I remember correctly, you only managed to learn one important thing about the Human Removal Service, right?
Yes.
The group is made up of dozens of members. Dozens of people that all masquerade as the leader, known as the Herald.
I wonder why Aoi never told Noriko she was killing people. Yeah. I mean, she just did it so Noriko would think she had these awesome powers that would make people kill themselves.
There's no single person responsible for the murders. It's the joint effort of a large group, all striking across the city simultaneously. Am I correct?
And there's a real kicker. He's absolutely spot on. I don't mind sharing this tidbit of information with him. It does nothing to assist with his investigation.
Oh, thank you for the Christian anyway.
Unwrapping the lie that I was Noriko's lackey and a blanket of truth makes everything all the more convincing.
Yes, that's right.
Phew, okay. I think
That
I
actually
understand
makes more
everything.
sense, because if they were only those two people, how would they kill so many people across the entire country? No, everyone is pretending to be the one big guy.
Thank you for your help.
Oh. There's one thing I'm not entirely comfortable about. Shinya hasn't been forthcoming with his reasons for wanting Noriko dead. If I don't let it question, I feel like he will never address it.
Can you tell me why you want to kill Noriko?
He tries to back away from the question by twiddling his thumbs and pretending to examine a nearby wall.
I need to know. Otherwise, how can I trust you?
Trust. It's a word that has always made me laugh. How can I trust anybody? I couldn't even trust my own parents, people who swore to raise and protect me. My mother hit me when I misbehaved, when I overslept by 5 minutes or raised my voice ever so slightly. I was a child. How could I ever trust her not to lash out at me? My father, how could I ever trust him after he killed me? And Noriko, the one friend I opened up to, the one person who knew all about my struggles. She betrayed me. She kept her perfect life out of reach, taunted me with it, dangled it in front of me like a carrot on a string. And when I asked to share a life with her, she completely misinterpreted it. She told me she loved me, told me she wanted to be with me. She wanted to shower me with gifts, hold my hand, be intimate with me. She wanted to be my girlfriend, but how could I ever be intimate with her after what I went through? She didn't understand me. She didn't understand that I wanted to be her, not be with her. Is OBS working again? No, we're scuffing our way through. She wouldn't trade lives with me, so how could I ever trust her? How could I trust her when she said she loved me but wasn't willing to make a sacrifice to make me happy? Everyone is full of shit, and I'll never trust anybody again. Junpei spends every day trying to prove his love to me. He assists me with my compulsive behavior. He helps me do my shopping, helps me keep my apartment neat and tidy. I trust him? No. I know what he wants from me. He's no better than Noriko. He's willing to jump through hoops for me in the hope that he'll eventually conquer my flash. Even when he tries to help out with my compulsions, I don't have full faith in him. He takes it upon himself to complete my checklist of rituals in order to spare me the stress. But more often than that, I still have to go ahead and double check everything just to make sure he didn't fuck anything up. If I can't even trust him with that, then I know I'll never be able to trust another soul with anything. Looking at Shinya now, pacing nervously around my apartment, I decide to not put any stock into what he says next. There's no way in hell that I'll believe whatever comes out of his mouth.
Noriko is my friend, but thing is,
In case you didn't know, I was declared the prime suspect of our investigation.
Father isn't the most lenient person, and he's been cracking under stress lately. If he finds Noriko, if he arrests
Conquer my
her,
flash. Yeah, that is one way to say it.
there will be no trial. She'll simply get life behind bars.
I mean, that's not a bad... yeah. She yanks his head and I hear a quiet sob.
Is that our country's idea of justice?
She killed people.
She doesn't deserve anything less
Oh,
than death
okay.
for her crimes.
Okay.
Letting her live safely behind bars isn't a punishment. It's an
Ah.
act of mercy. I want to ensure Noriko receives true justice, fitting judgment for the lives she destroyed.
What he's saying just doesn't add up. How does he know she won't receive the death penalty? It's true that it's not common punishment, but it's still legal in this country, especially so for cases of mass murder. Does Shinya have information that I don't?
I need to find her. I need to hand her the justice that my father is too cowardly to deliver.
Okay, damn. Whatever. I'm already sick of this guy. He acts like he's been personally wronged by Noriko's crimes, like he's so high and mighty he knows what's best. I doubt he knew a single person that Noriko killed.
Fine. To be honest, I don't really care about your
Everyone in this
reasons.
game is perfectly normal and can be trusted.
As long as you want Noriko dead, then our goals are the same. But I have to ask, will you turn yourself into the police after you kill her?
Once again, Shinya hangs his head.
I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't.
There's only one
Ah! He leaves the sentence hanging in midair. It wasn't exactly a confirmation.
I have no idea where Noriko's hiding. She doesn't live in her apartment anymore. She doesn't show up to her office. I know that she has a factory that she runs her operation from, but I can't find it.
I see. I might be able to help.
Oh.
Tomoe and Noriko used to spend a lot of time
I'm
together.
trying! I'm trying very hard not to accidentally skip the text.
Not sure what they used to get up to, but I checked the travel history on Tomoe's IC card, and she made a lot of trips to Shinokubo.
IC card. For people traveling by train every day, buying single-use tickets is often a pain in the ass. Reusable IC cards are much more convenient. You can top them up with money and simply swipe them at the ticket gates to have your train fare automatically deducted. Best of all, they keep a record of your transaction history and all the stations you've traveled to recently. The fact that Shinya even thought to look at Tomo's travel history makes me want to reconsider my initial assessment of the guy's detective skills.
Shina Okubo, you say?
Yeah, can't imagine what she was doing there, but all the dates she traveled to that station coincide with days she claimed to be hanging out with Noriko.
I still don't think Shinya realizes that Tomoe was in on Noniko's operation. Regardless, this is valuable information. Chances are good that Noriko and Tomoe spend a lot of time together at the factory, and the factory may very well be located in Shinokubo. I'll feed this information to Junpei and see what he makes of it. Perhaps he knows something I don't.
Thanks for the info. That's enough for today. I'll contact you when I locate Noriko.
What has Noriko done now? Well, so far nothing, really.
Say, just one more thing.
What is it?
If you've been wanting to kill her, then why haven't you just called her and asked her to meet up with you?
He thinks he's so clever. He thinks he's everything all worked out. He doesn't know shit.
It's not that easy. I need to find where she's living and running her operation from. I want to destroy everything involved with Corpse Girl. I want to burn her factory to the ground.
More lies, lies on top of lies. The truth of the matter is that Noriko knows perfectly well my intentions for her, even if she temporarily forgets during moments of delirium. She would never agree to meet up with me, not now. Things were different not so long ago, but I missed that opportunity. Noriko worked out my position in the human removal service. She figured out that I'm the Herald, the one responsible for slicing and dicing. She doesn't know that there's more than one Herald, but that's irrelevant. And she doesn't know that I'm responsible for the mass of bodies littered across Tokyo thanks to Corpse Girl's website. However, as long as she knows that I'm a threat, she never agreed to meet with me. How she came to the conclusion that I'm the enemy is beyond me. She's a sharp person, despite teetering on the edge of a total breakdown. It doesn't matter, the point is I can't simply call and meet up with her. Besides, I actually do want to locate the factory just as much as I want to locate her. The factory is where I'll plant myself. It's where I'll start my life anew. It's where I'll grow and blossom into the new Corpse Girl once I've taken over Noriko's identity. Shinya's contemplating my answer. It seems good enough for him.
Fair enough. You want to see Corpse Girl completely and utterly defeated. I get that. That's your idea of justice.
Sure.
Agreeing with him will make his ordeal of a conversation end quicker.
I'm going to get some rest. So...
Okay. I understand. I'll take my leave. Call me when you locate Noriko, okay?
Yes.
Lie.
Farewell then.
He makes his way to the door and I don't take my eyes off him until he disappears through the portal. When he's gone, I tiptoe toward the door and confirm it's fully closed. I make sure the door is snugly nestled in the wooden frame. I lock the door handle and slide the deadbolt into place.
The door is locked.
Is it?
The door is locked.
I can't be certain. To my eyes that fail me on a daily basis, that betray my mind with illusions and fandoms, the door seems to be locked. But why should I trust my eyes? I don't trust anyone. Why should I trust parts of myself? I can't even see colors clearly. Red, green, whatever. I can't see anything without the aid of glasses. The door has to be locked. It has to be, otherwise I won't be able to walk away. I won't be able to stop thinking about it until I come back and check again and again and again and again.
The door is locked.
I turn away, take a deep breath, and then immediately turn back.
The door is locked. The door is locked.
I'm pretty sure the deadbolt is in place. It certainly looks in place. I'm so exhausted. I'm tired of the routines and rituals. Why can't I just walk away? If I walked away, the problem wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be stuck standing here checking and double-checking something so trivial. If I could walk away, I wouldn't be so full of stress, so worked up about things that ultimately don't matter. Another deep breath and I take a step back.
Door's locked.
I turn, run, dash. I sprint through the room, sprint through the hallway. I slam my body into my bedroom door, throwing it wide open. That said open wide, but whatever. I collapse on my bed. I ignore the nagging in my brain telling me that the door is unlocked. I ignore it until it feels too real and I have to stretch out my flash just to distract myself. I pull my pillow over my head and hold it tightly around my face. I'm safe here, safe in my bed. The door is locked. Locked. I try to convince myself to fall asleep. Tell myself I'll feel better after I rest. I hope I lock the front door. God. How she manages to have that job is beyond
I reckon
me.
I'll have some work for you soon. The other heralds have been keeping the numbers up. There just haven't been any requests for this area lately, you know?
Yeah.
I'm only half listening to Junpei. He said something about why I haven't been tasked with killing anyone lately, but I don't really care about the reasons. Junpei is the only one in contact with the lead of the human removal service. I just take orders like all of the other heralds. Not that I've met any of them. Every herald has their own district, their own turf. If the request comes through our website, it gets allocated to the herald closest to the victim. It must have been a week since I last got to kill, maybe 2 weeks. It's not that I like the killing, it's not that I want to do it. I fulfill the request simply as a way to antagonize Noriko. It's my role to play in backing her into a corner and shutting down Corpse Girl. And so far, thanks to my contributions to the human removal service, we've been incredibly successful. Corpse Girl is all but a distant memory to the general public. If people really want to request somebody's death, they come to us, not to her. Everyone here needs help. On the other hand, I feel like they're beyond help, actually. I don't plan on remaining with this group for much longer. After all, Noriko is pretty much already broken. She's a wreck. Once I find her, I'll possess her and quit this group. Then I finally have the life I've always wanted, Noriko's life. I resurrect Corpse Girl when I feel like it. I'll use my inside knowledge on the human removal services operations to bring them on myself. After that, I'll be able to spend my days in peace, living free of fear, finally comfortable in being the girl I want to be. I'll truly be Noriko.
Yo, babe, you in there?
Huh?
I suppose I drifted too far away. I rub my eyes, look at Junpei, and flash him my sweetest fake smile.
I'm okay. Sorry, honey bear. I'm very tired.
Oh, don't sweat it. You want me to grab you a cup of coffee?
That would be lovely. You always know how to make me feel better.
Of course. I'm on it, babe. You wait right there.
Junpei stumbles away and heads behind the bar, leaving me alone in this empty section of the cafe. I take a seat in one of the cardboard boxes lining the wall. The box is solid thanks to being packed full of various canned drinks. The maid cafe belongs to us in the early hours of the morning. The place doesn't open until noon, so there's no one here this early. I have my own keys these days, regardless of whether or not I'm supposed to. Junpei suggested we use the place as a makeshift base of operations after I decided I was going to continue working here. That was some time ago now. Originally, I truly had planned to quit. I was going to go work with Noriko. My manager at the time used to drive me insane. I couldn't wait to get away, but after I killed him, things weren't so bad. The new manager is great. He doesn't pressure me to work shifts I don't want to. He doesn't let customers take advantage of the staff. Neither the new manager nor the other staff members care that Junpei and I meet up down here. It's not like we leave any incriminating evidence behind either. It's simply an easy place for us to meet up and talk since Junpei lives so far away from me. The other benefit is that we have access to cheap drinks and food thanks to my employee discount, so hanging out here is actually quite pleasant. I'll wait for a while longer for Junpei to return. I really could use a coffee right now. His return is heralded by the thump of heavy feet against the tile floor.
I got you, fam.
Got you, fam! Junpei sidles up to me and hands me my favorite drink, a tall iced coffee with an extra espresso shot and a dollop of ice cream.
Oh, you're the best, baby.
Yeah, I know it.
He giggles in his insanely irritating high-pitched way and begins to chug down his own latte.
So I wanted to ask you a favor.
No, she's definitely not actually in love with him. He's just a means to an end. For her.
Anything for you, honeybee.
A tuft of milky foam sits on his top lip, and I have to hold myself back from stabbing him in the face.
Noriko apparently spent a lot of time in Shin Okubo with her accomplice Tomoe.
Shin Okubo, huh? Good old K-Town. What'd they go there for? Karaoke?
Doubt it. Noriko sounds like a drowning cat when she sings.
Then what?
Well, I'd like to think that's where the factory is located.
Oh, gotcha. Ooh, you could be onto something. Trip from Kojiro's morgue to Shin Okubo wouldn't take that long. Since they used to move a lot of bodies around, it's definitely a viable location.
I agree.
Right on. I'll look into it. I'll track down factories in that area and get my troops to investigate each one.
I'm careful not to let him see me roll my eyes. By his troops, he means the guys he plays online games with, a bunch of teenagers that all look up to him because he's a top-ranked player. They're not involved with the human removal service, they're just pawns that Junpei uses to complete the legwork around town. Sadly, they're happy to serve him because they all see him as their sensei.
Cool. Let me know what you find out. I'm itching to get this all over with. My love.
It's increasingly difficult to act pleasant around Junpei. My mouth tries to clamp itself shut every time I use a pet name or affectionate term. I know that my time to discard him is near. Once I become Noriko, then...
You can count on me, sweetums. Now drink up and get your energy back.
Take a sip of my iced coffee and can nearly taste it. Because my tongue is dead, the food and drinks I consume need to be extra strong or sweet for me to have a chance of enjoying the flavor. But Junpei doesn't know this. He just thinks I have a sweet tooth. He can think whatever he wants because I just don't care. Okay. A message from Junpei arrives while I'm lying in a fetal position on my couch. Hey cutie, the guys checked out a bunch of factories yesterday, got the location. Hit me up. I have to read the message twice to be sure my eyes aren't deceiving me like usual. Does he truly have the location I've been looking for? I take a calming breath. I don't want to jump to conclusions, especially with someone involving Junpei. He has a tendency to exaggerate and may just be trying to get me excited about some useless information. I send him a short reply requesting the info. I instantly receive a thumbs up emote, then the text box changes to an animated ... as Junpei composes his follow-up message. The wait is agonizing. If Junpei pulls through for me here, I might finally learn Noriko's location. If it all pans out, then everything could be over by tonight. It's hard not to not get excited about the prospect. It's hard not to get ahead of myself. I could leave my death behind and never look back. I could become Noriko and live the happy life she's been keeping to herself all these years. The message finally arrives on my screen. It's an address, not that I expected anything else. A street name and a factory number in the Shin Okubo area. One more message from Junpei comes through. My guy saw a chick matching Noriko's description inside the factory. He thought she was a zombie. Ha! Go check it. This is it. As long as this information is solid, I've located Noriko's factory. My entire body begins to shake. An icy chill washes over me as though I've just walked into a cold shower. It's a strange sensation for a dead girl to feel. Pain doesn't affect me, yet cold is something I can never banish from my bones. No time to focus on that. I have to stay calm. Need to concentrate and pull myself together. I launch myself up from the couch and collect the backpack hanging over the coat rack. I unzip it, run my hands through its contents, and convince myself that everything I need is within. After swinging the bag over my shoulder, I throw open the apartment door and venture outside. Oh boy. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh. The factory is a rundown mess. How anyone can live here is beyond me. I suppose I'll just have to find a way to make it feel like home. Maybe once I'm inside Noriko's skin, I'll be able to understand why she's comfortable here. Yeah, the more I look at it, the better it seems. This will be my home. I'll be Noriko and live here happily ever after. I'll sit back and enjoy the life that she has been withholding from me. Firstly, I need to find somewhere to change my clothes. I can't kill someone even wearing my nice dress. That's just not acceptable. I did consider changing at home, but then I would have scored funny looks from people on the train ride over here. Is it strange that a dead girl fears entering a socially awkward situation? I always go out of my way to avoid uncomfortable situations. Perhaps it's just a remnant of the life I once knew. Something that I can't quite leave behind. It's the same as my obsessive compulsions. They cling to me like carrion flies swarming over my corpse. I shouldn't be worried about any of those things. But dead or not, my mind can't just discard the anxieties that shape my entire life. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I trapping myself in pointless thoughts? My goal is right in front of me. Noriko's on the other side of the brick wall, completely unaware of what is about to happen. A heavy-handed slap through my face doesn't sting, but it causes me to evaluate what I'm doing. Focus. First, I'll change into the gear provided to me by the human removal service. Then I'll shimmy into the factory through an open window. It definitely is something that makes her ignore pain to a very unreasonable degree, or for sure. Maybe some of her nerve endings just got fucked up or something. I locate Noriko and drive a knife into her chest. I'll pluck her still beating hard from my body like a ripe strawberry, and then I carve my name into the pulsating blood-spurting organ. Noriko's life will be over and I'll be reborn. I'll baptize myself in the lifeblood and become the girl I've always wanted to be. And I'll be happy. Happy, just like Noriko. Smiling, carefree girl that I spent my youth with. The girl that faced her mother's attempted suicide with a stoic smile. The girl that didn't flinch when her father walked out. The girl that stayed inside day after day when the outside world just became too scary to face. The happy, carefree girl without a single real problem. She never knew how good her life was. She wouldn't have lasted a day in my shoes. I hate her so much. I'm going to become her. My backpack hits the ground with a dull impact. I tear my yellow sundress from my shoulders and let it fall to the ground, just like a snake sheds its skin. Cool afternoon breeze bites at my naked skin and makes the tiny hairs across my body stand on end. Why can a dad feel cold? The dad shouldn't feel anything. I couch and rummage through my backpack, withdrawing my change of clothes. Slowly, calmly, deliberately, I dress myself in a dark grey gear that marks me as a herald, one of many. I can. I note the comforting weight of 4 knives concealed within my jacket, 1 in each sleeve and 2 against my chest. It's important to be armed to the teeth. After donning every article, I pull a broad mask out of the bag. A mask in the likeness of Corpse Girl, my enemy, and my future identity. I slide the mask over my face and a curtain of calm descends over me. This is the last time I march forward in the name of the Human Removal Service. Is this for my own personal agenda? The scheming of the rebellious group of killers no longer guides my hand. The time has come. I approach the factory's front entrance and try the door, simply out of curiosity. I don't expect Noriko to have lowered her guard so much, and yet, the door swings open. She left it unlocked. A mistake I never would have made thanks to my overbearing compulsions. Oh, now I'm interested. This place reeks of death. If I wasn't so accustomed to the smell, I'd probably vomit. The dead girl's vomit. The dull, steady hum of an air conditioner registers in my consciousness, but doesn't distract me from examining the surroundings. Countless empty bags are strewn across the pockmarked concrete floor. Some are stained with brown blood and some are completely clean. A series of shelves, almost like a warehouse, racks run along the walls and across the floor in haphazard patterns. However, Planter's layout was out of their mind. However, this is a home now. My home. Soon. Striding forward, I reach between shelves and step over discarded body bags. So far, there has been no indication of Noriko's presence. Still, I draw a knife from inside my sleeve so that it rests in the palm of my hand. The metal handle is solid. Cold. Why do I feel cold? The entire factory is like a freezer. How can Noriko live here? My torso twists in reaction to the monitor and syllable. The quick movement sends a shooting pain across my chest. Pain? Pain?
It's you. Hello, Harold. It took me a while, but I figured out what your mask is supposed to be. It's like an artistic representation of Corpse Girl, right? The Corpse Girl mascot that appears on my website.
Noriko flashes her phone at me and I glare at the website display.
That's totally copyright infringement.
I don't know what to say to her. This isn't exactly how I imagined this encounter would
Well,
play
you know
out.
what I'm talking about,
Oh
right?
my god, why'd you fake Junpei Matsumoto's death?
That time we met in the underground parking lot. You planted a look-alike corpse to fool us into thinking Junpei had died. So guess you stole that strategy from me too. I sense a lawsuit.
She stepped forward with her hand outstretched. I instinctively lash out with my knife and slash her wrist. But a hand comes to rest on my shoulder, the tiny nick from my inaccurate blade not even prompting a spurt of blood.
Ouch! That stung a little.
The warmth of her hand seeps into my shoulder. It's almost comforting.
Aoi, I miss you. I really miss you. Can you take off the mask? Can we just talk?
I don't take off the mask. I don't know why I'm standing here listening to her. I don't know why her presence and her reassuring hand has caused me to lower my guard. She smiles. This is the happy, carefree Noriko I grew up with.
You're so beautiful, Aoi. I'm really sad we can't be together. How are things with your boyfriend?
That single useless word crawls out of my rotting mouth like a diseased maggot. It's all I can bring myself to say.
You can't tell me? That's okay. You used to be so open with me. And then, you died. We tried to keep our friendship going after that, but we've never really been the same since then, have we? I hope you get the help you need, Aoi. I hope one day we can put all of this behind us.
My fingers loosen, the grip on my knife weakening. It falls to the concrete ground. I don't need it anymore. I tense my arms and squeeze my hands together, desperately trying to crush Noriko's throat beneath my fingers. His skin is warm and flushes red as my grip tightens. She kicks against me, but the pain doesn't register. She's weak and frail. A strangled cry is drowned out by my own grunts of exertion. Anemic fingers swipe at my arms constantly, only serving to irritate me. I could hold her neck in one hand and use my other to plunge a knife into her face. I could continue to strangle her until I crush her windpipe, or I could lash her stomach open and let her intestines spill out into the ground. All of the options are appealing. All of the options can be put into motion within seconds. I take my right hand off her neck and slip it into my jacket, ready to pull out a knife. My left hand closes tight on her neck, and Noriko closes the distance between us, causing my elbow to bend and allow her closer. Her forehand slams into my own and my neck recoils backward. I fall into the ground, only able to blink once as I try to work out what just happened. She somehow summoned the strength to headbutt me. Frail, weak, ghostly Noriko. She actually stood up for herself. She actually struck the person she loves. I'm dazed but ultimately uninjured. I didn't even feel the impact of my skull against the concrete when I landed flat on my back. Noriko towers over me and rubs her neck, her ragged breathing even louder than the thrumming air conditioner.
Sorry, Allie. I had to defend myself. Please, get up. Let's talk about things.
I get up. I slip the knife into her side and feel it slide neatly between two of her ribs. Her taut, thin skin does nothing to resist impalement. Noriko looks down at the wound and mumbles in surprise. I drive the knife in deeper, and with a flick of my wrist I pull it sideways, slashing her belly wide open. An arcing stream of blood sprays from the savage wound and forms a macabre rainbow before me. Noriko coughs and gags as she frantically tries to stem the tide of blood with her hands.
Damn it! Corpse girl will...
She falls to her knees. Anti-threat falls with her, and her face slams into the concrete. Noriko Kurosawa is dead. Using the very same knife that slashed her open, I cut along the seams of my jacket and skirt. I strip myself down with the blade until I'm standing cold and naked in a factory. It doesn't take long to strip Noriko down as well, but I'm extra careful with her clothes, and I don't use the knife this time. I simply pull her dress up and over her until it slides free from her motionless body. I hold the dress up against me, letting it press against my own form. I look down and admire the side of myself, imagining what I'll look like when I wear it, and finally become Noriko. I can wear her clothes, live in a factory, talk to her friends, work at her office, and do all the things that she loved to do, all the things that made her happy. I slip the dress over my hand and force my arms through the sleeves. It's a little long, but overall it fits me nicely. I'm Noriko Kurosawa. Hi, Yudo! Just because you put on her clothes? Act 3 clear! Oh god. Oh, it's going down. What? My mother killed herself. She didn't die. Well, she died, but not really. It's a funny thought. Everything that she was, everything that made her Asuna Kurosawa, left this planet on that day. Her body remained, but her soul had departed. She got sent away to a care facility, and I didn't see her very often after that. On the rare occasions I visited her, I would always notice that her eyes no longer looked like mine. I hated her for what she did to our family. Yuriko and I were only children at the time. But Mother hung herself up from the ceiling and made us watch. She encouraged us to kick the chair out from underneath her. We didn't understand what she was doing. She told us it was a game. So we kicked the chair and we laughed. And Mother laughed, and then her neck snapped and she stopped laughing, and the light in her eyes that I once shared with her was extinguished instantly. Yuriko screamed, and I screamed, and Mother just wouldn't move, and we couldn't get her down from the ceiling, and eventually Yuriko remembered how to call for an ambulance, and the paramedics arrived, and we were taken away. And after that, I was completely fucked up, because you don't just walk away from something like that and act like nothing happened. I spent years trying to force the painful memories of her attempted suicide out of my mind, but I didn't exactly cope with it very well. How could I? I became terrified of the world and became used to locking myself inside and wasting away. Yuriko dealt with it a little better than me. I can say her rebellious behavior was the right way to cope, but it had to have been healthier than staying inside for weeks at a time. By the time I reached senior high school, I think I'd mostly gotten past everything. The vision of Mother hanging from the ceiling in front of me didn't haunt my dreams. The sound of our laughter intermingled with screaming didn't always ring in my ears. Aoi helped me through a lot of it. She shared all of her problems with me, and it made me feel a bit better, like maybe my life wasn't so bad. Aoi's life was kind of messed up. Her father was arrested for various crimes and didn't spend much time in her life. When we were ready to graduate, he came back to town and violently attacked her. She called me and told me that he killed her, but but she killed him too, so it was all going to be okay. Her words, not mine. I never understood what she meant when she said she was dead. I think graduating put some distance between us, so I never truly tried to figure out her words. My own problems came back to haunt me once I moved out of home. I became completely distracted and almost forgot about Aoi. The apartment I moved into. I should have known that the smell of mold was normal. Should have paid attention to the shoddy repair work that had been performed on the wall. Should have just walked away and found somewhere else to live. But that apartment, I suppose that's where I started to lose control of my life. And that's exactly the reason why I need to return there. So she did find the dead body. Thank you for the berry redeem. Did it work? It did! Yay!
Looks the same as always.
I'm not looking forward to climbing the rest of the stairs up to the apartment. I can hardly walk at all, even on flat ground. But I have to do this. I can't let stitches and bandages and painkillers distract me from getting inside. I don't know how long I was in the hospital for. None of my personal effects were with me when I woke up. I had no phone, no purse, no handbag. You survived? But the doctors monitored me for a few days and then let me go, even though I told them I had nowhere to return to. They just threw me onto the street. They couldn't even tell me what happened to the girl who attacked me. They had no idea if she had been arrested or not. I have a feeling she's still out there. Regardless, I'm here now. My wound is apparently on the mend and I don't have any sign of infection. All I have to focus on is the ascent in front of me. Each step I climb is more difficult to conquer than the last. Each time I raise my leg, I experience a tearing, searing agony along the length of my stomach. More than once I have to stop and check that my stitches haven't torn wide open. When I'm sure my flesh is more or less intact, I continue scaling the mountain. My head drops and beads of sweat drip down my face. When I hit the landing on the level below my own apartment, I spy a familiar face. Momo!
Noriko?
Momo Ogawa, the daughter of Kenji Ogawa, the man I framed in order to maintain my innocence.
Hey, Momo.
The panic cry isn't the reaction I was suspecting. Her father is exiting the apartment just as Momo cries out. He does a double take before glaring at me.
Noriko.
Hi!
Surprised to see you here.
I can't quite get a grasp of his tone. Is he happy to see me or angry? Does he even know that I'm the reason he was arrested? Well, I'm assuming that the police let him go fairly quickly. After all, he's here at his home and not rotting in a cell.
Hello.
The landlord said you disappeared.
Yeah, kind of.
Are you okay? You look like...
His gaze turns to the hospital tags adorning my wrists and the package of spare bandages I have slung over my shoulder.
You know, you disappeared right around the time the police...
Huh?
Forget it. It's nothing.
I have a bad feeling that he's beginning to piece something together. If it works out that I'm behind his false arrest, then...
Sorry, I should go.
Yeah. Come on, Momo.
Bye-bye, Noriko.
Bye-bye!
Bye, Momo.
The girl waves excitedly as her father leads her downstairs. I should feel relieved that he's safe, but honestly I just feel guilty. My actions, Corpse Girl's actions, put a lot of strain on that little family. I have to keep going. The last flight of stairs is torture on my battered body, but I persevere and reach the front door of my apartment. It's at this moment that I remember I don't have any keys to get in. Shit. Out of desperation I try turning the handle and the door opens. Either I left the place unlocked or the landlord has been inside and forgot to lock up. I'm just thankful that I can keep moving forward. The curtains are open, bathing the living area in a soft light.
I'm home.
Home. No, that's not right. This isn't my home. This isn't Noriko's home. This is Corpse Girl's home. I never really lived here. I simply existed within these walls. The real Noriko was held hostage by an omnipotent presence sealed in his home. Things here are just as I left them so long ago. It's a comforting feeling, but at the same time it sends a chill down my spine. It's time to move on. I stride with purpose toward the kitchenette and sight open one of the drawers. Inside is a small mallet with a metal head. It's a treasure I acquired from the garden shed on the apartment grounds back when I first moved in. It's not very large, but that suits me just fine. I don't have the strength to wield anything bigger than this. Bringing it to bear is still a great deal of effort. I grip the handle with both hands and lift a deceptively heavy tool. Equipped as a tiny weapon of destruction, I slowly lurch through the hallway. Are we gonna get the body out of the wall? I make my way to the very end where a blank, stark white wall faces me. The paint on the wall is peeling like it was slapped on without care. The plaster's cracked like it was applied by an amateur. And the lingering stank of mold is at its strongest when I stand in front of this wall. I bring the mallet down with both arms, the heavy metal hat crashing into the wall with as much force as I can muster. The struggle of bearing the mallet is taking its toll on my wound. I feel the stitches in my stomach threatening to snap and break. I can't stop here. I can't stop until I've crushed this wall and revealed the glittering contents of the trophy hidden inside. Another swing and another crash against plaster. A cry of pain and another hole in the wall. I scream and swing and hammer and groan and slash and weep, and the wall crumbles beneath my sheer force of will. White dust clouds my vision and provokes me into a coughing frenzy. When my eyes and throat clear up, I throw the mallet to the carpet and venture forward. I clamber through the human-sized hole in the wall and find myself in a secret cage on the other side. A tiny weapon of destruction? Yeah, that would describe a cat. Subscribe? Describe. Hi! The stank assaulting my nostrils no longer disguises itself as mold. It's a fetid malodor of rot and decay, the inimitable trademark of a decomposing corpse. I spent so long fooling myself into believing it was nothing concerning. I spent so long pretending that a corpse didn't live within the walls of this apartment. The truth is, this corpse pinned to the wall is the root of all evil. It's an infinite amount of misery and despair and malice and death and hatred. This is Corpse Girl.
Hello, old friend.
The corpse does not reply. To call it a corpse is no longer entirely accurate. It has become little more than a skeleton. An osseous I'm sorry, these are a lot of words I definitely do not pronounce correctly. Osseous edifice? A macabre tribute to the unyielding sense of time. Bone and flesh and hair and fabric blend and intertwine and melt together to form a sickening representation of human beauty. Beauty. I used to think this body was pure perfection. Back when the corpse was more or less intact, it was the image of a gorgeous, vibrant young woman. I aspired to become just as beautiful. Slender, elegant, graceful, with pale skin and dark eyes. Looking at her now, it's clear to see that I was deceived. The form before me is not beautiful. It's revolting. I shaped myself in the image of death, truly believing I was transcending mortal beauty. This corpse controlled me for so long. This corpse manipulated me and made me want to become just like it. Somewhere along the way, my own identity began to dissolve and I started to believe that I had become this rotting carcass, this pallid bag of flesh. The spell has been broken. I don't know if it's because of my near-death experience or the clarity of mind inspired by an intoxicating cocktail of painkillers, but I no longer want to associate myself with Corpse Girl. I want to be myself, just Noriko. I no longer want to kill in the name of this blasphemous effigy.
Corpse Girl.
You're telling me she knew about the corpse in there and that's why she was so obsessed with being thin?
I found you here, trapped in this storage closet, just over a year ago.
Oh, that's fucking stupid.
And you stole my life from me.
Looking at her now, I can't help but wonder what the hell went through my mind when I let her possess me. Why did discovering this corpse have such a profound, lasting effect on my psyche? I shut my eyes as a wave of dizziness threatens to overcome me. Staring in the near darkness, I struggled to regain my balance. I blocked out the memory of discovering this corpse for so long, I refused to acknowledge it ever happened. But the crystallized fragments of that forgotten memory have finally breached the surface of my consciousness. I can finally recall the event thanks to the clarity brought about by my current state of mind. Well, now I'm interested. It happened several days after I moved into this apartment. The musty smell of mold lured me to the wall at the end of the corridor, the wall that had been hastily patched up and covered with plaster and paint. I wondered about the source of the smell. I figured it might be a leak, busted pipe that needed repair. Instead of calling upon the landlord for assistance, I took matters into my own hands. Perhaps I was inspired by my newfound independence. I had just become a free young woman, living on my own for the first time. Perhaps I was just stupid. I located a mallet in the garden shed. I tore down the wall. I found Corpse Girl, and in that moment I fell to my knees. Someone had hung this corpse upon the wall and decorated the storage room with books and photographs. The sight of the dead woman bearing down on me instantly unearthed the buried memories of my mother's attempted suicide. The pain and despair that I had repressed for so long found its way out of my mouth and formed an unholy scream. I think the fear of that discovery and the subsequent revival of subdued memories caused me to slip in and out of consciousness. I was paralyzed by fear and my entire body was racked with pain. Looking back now, I feel like I must have spent days lying in a heap on the floor of the storage closet.
Days spent within a dreary haze of dread and depression and distress. Days spent at the feet of that hanging corpse that form I began to look up to and idolize. Days spent in a lull, a fever dream, surrounded by photographs on the wall of all manner of corpses. Days and days of my soul and identity slipping between my fingers. Something must have eventually cracked inside me because I remember getting to my feet and repairing the wall. I don't know how I did it, but I patched it up and painted over it and vacuumed up all the dust and debris from the carpet. And then my memory of the entire incident just vanished from my mind. The only relic I retrieved from that storage space was a single book, a heavy tome that must have tumbled out of the closet during my delirium. It was Photography, a comprehensive history of photo manipulation. Yeah, Kojiro caused this entire game! Yay! Now, Corpse Girl doesn't look the way she used to. Uncovering her today hasn't shocked me into submission like it did all that time ago. Am I stronger now? No, not really. But I was prepared to face her this time, and now I'm here to bury her. As I calmly assess how difficult it will be to retrieve her from her position, my eyes fall upon the dozens of photos plastered haphazardly across the walls. Photographs of nameless bodies printed with an instant camera. There must be 10 or 20 or 30 corpses across the entire series of images. I don't recognize any of them. That's the only comfort I can take from viewing the images, the comfort that I'm not the one who decorated this room with these macabre visuals. Whoever put these photos up is undoubtedly the same person responsible for hanging Corpse Girl on the wall. All of the photos look so real, and all of the corpses are in such normal situations. There's an image of a decomposing body sitting on a bench waiting at a train platform. He's wearing a suit like any ordinary businessman. Another image is of a headless couple at a dinner table, dressed in a Sunday best. They're sharing a candlelit meal. Corpses going about their daily life. It's eerily reminiscent of something else I've encountered before. What was it? A book I read? Instinctively, my eyes dart to the piles of books toppled over in a corner of the storage room. There are dozens of duplicate books, as if they were abandoned here by their own author. I crouch and dust off the cover of the book at the top of the pile. Days Better Dead by Nobel Sinclair. Nobel Sinclair. Underneath 10 more copies of the volume is a different book with a familiar cover. Strange Flower. I know this. The very same book that Kojiro lent me so long ago. Except the book here is not some worn, well-read library copy. It's a pristine condition, save for the layer of dust coating it. There are nearly a dozen copies of this book as well. Someone intentionally abandoned these books here, and the fact that they're accompanying so many photos of corpses, not to mention Miss Corpse Girl herself, is no coincidence. These books and photos, as well as the copy of Foe's photography I found here so long ago, all of this somehow embedded itself into my consciousness and inspired me to start Corpse Girl's website. I'm sure of it. This room, this fucking cursed room, ruined my life and corrupted my mind. Nah, girl, I think you had some other mental issues before this room, but it certainly didn't improve those. And I have to wonder if somebody planned it all. Did somebody leave all of these things here in order to break whoever entered? It's probably a far-fetched concept, but I'm desperate to place the blame on somebody else, anybody but myself.
Enough.
A light slap to my face snaps me out of my inner ramblings. It's time to bury Corpse Girl and put his life behind me once and for all. I can't really atone for the things I've done this last year. Hell, I don't actually feel like I need to atone. It's not guilt that's eating me up inside. But at the very least, I can move on. I carefully remove the restraints tying Corpse Girl to the wall and feel the weight of her rotted body collapse against my own frail form. Her head leans against my shoulder, and for a brief moment I pause and let her rest against me. I run a hand through what's left of her hair. She's been through a lot. We both have. We're both Corpse Girl. Well, we both used to be. No, we're just empty husks with no purpose. If we're not Corpse Girl, we'll probably be forgotten, lost to time and memory. For once in my life, I'm looking forward to being forgotten. That's it? That's it? She just survives being stabbed and... What? God, this place is boring as hell. After all the shit I've been through this year, I simply can't believe I'm still working here. If it weren't for Shinya, I probably wouldn't bother coming in every day. But I want to patch things up with him. If I keep talking to him in the office, surely I crawl my way to forgiveness. Speaking of that son of a bitch, here he comes now. Look at him. He walks past my desk and doesn't even acknowledge my existence. How can he ignore me after all the time we spent together? Fucking hell. He irritates the shit out of me sometimes. I just have to take medicine in my own hands. If he won't talk to me, I'll just make him talk. I leave my desk and straight over to him. My heavy footsteps aren't exactly elegant or befitting a lady, as my mother used to always say, but I don't really give a flying fuck.
Hey, what's going on?
The slow, drawling words that drip from my mouth don't come out the way I want. That always seems to be the case. Everyone treats me like some dumbest dipshit because of the way I speak. They don't understand that it's the way somebody thinks that really matters. I can't help it if I was brought up to speak like a fucking imbecile. Maybe my father, not me.
Oh. Hello, Tomoe.
Hello yourself. What's a gal gotta do to get a conversation out of you these days?
Huh? What do you mean?
Come on. You know we don't speak like we used to.
Well, we broke up.
Oh, she dumped
You
him.
dumped
Okay,
me.
not him, her.
What exactly do you expect from me now?
Oh, please. You know I'm sorry for that. I told you 1,000 times that breaking it off with you was the stupidest thing I've ever done. So come on! Get back together with me, will ya?
You doing this at work?
Tomoe, you broke my heart.
Yeah, I know. Shinya, I really love you. I need you.
I'm not normally one to get embarrassed, but letting my feelings hang in the air between us really makes me uncomfortable.
Did you hear about my father?
Huh?
I wasn't expecting him to shrug off my confession with a swift change of
He's
topic.
tracked down an important member of the Human Removal Service.
Jeez, not this shit again. Can't you just let it all go?
No, I can never do that. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I could use a hand, if you're willing to assist. Having someone by my side with insider information would be rather handy. Don't you agree?
I'm kind of blindsided by his request. I know that he knows everything. I'd be stupid to pretend he hasn't figured it all out now. He knows of my involvement with Noriko. He knows that I had a hand, however indirect, in the suicide cases a corpse got painted across the city.
I'm not going to judge you for working with Noriko. If you can help me bring the greater perpetrator to justice, the head of the Human Removal Service, then I think it may have been a good thing that you did what you did.
That's so. You'd forgive me for getting involved with such stupid shit?
Yes. I'd have no choice but to forgive you. And maybe we can even move further forward.
I know he's just saying what I want to hear. He can be manipulative in his own way. But if there's a chance I can make up for the shit I've done and win Shinya over again, then I have to go for it.
Right. Sign me up then, or whatever. I'll help out.
Thank you, Tomoe. I'm going to interview the individual involved with the Human Removal Service.
Are you allowed to do that?
Of course. Father said I'm an important member of the investigation team now. I'd like you to come with me. You might be able to point out any inconsistencies in his testimony.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I'll do my best.
For the first time in a long time, Shinya smiles at me. Who's the important member? I wanna see.
Ah, shit, man. I told you. I don't know. Can you just leave me alone?
This guy's pathetic. Every time I open my mouth, he flinches and recoils in terror like he thinks I'm going to hit him or stab him.
Listen here, you little shit. If you don't spill the deets, my man here will crush your fat skull into dust.
Girl, if you talk to me like that, I would also recoil in fear.
Tomoe, maybe you should let me do the talking from here on out.
Whatever.
I back off and let Shinya take my place. I talked him up so I thought he'd be pleased, but maybe I just annoyed him.
Mr. Matsumoto.
Please, just call me June. Hey, nice try, mister. I ain't your friend. You can address me formally. Thank you very much.
They all trying to gain someone's love, yeah, somewhat. He folds his arm across his chest and adopts a pouting expression of a child.
Yes. Well, as I was saying, Mr. Matsumoto, you understand why you've been brought in for questioning, yes?
Yeah, man, but, like, I'm totes innocent, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know nothing about the Human Removal Service. You guys think I'm involved, but you haven't given a reason why you think that.
Shinya retrieves a small pocket notebook from somewhere and flips through the pages. After a moment's silence, he clears his throat.
Several witnesses, plus a security camera, placed you at the scene of a murder just 2 days ago. Now, it's apparent you weren't the culprit. However, your activities at the time of the incident were questionable at best.
Oh, what activities are you referring to, Detective Man?
You were cheering, and I quote, "Kill him dead. Kill him dead."
Yo, that don't sound like something I'd say. I want my lawyer. You can't detain me here.
Mr. Matsumoto, you willingly came here when we contacted you. You are not under arrest.
This is ludicrous.
I'm surprised he's still
Ludicrous, I
alive,
say.
actually.
Be that as it may, I have a few more questions. One witness declared that you followed the masked culprit after they fled the scene of the crime. Is there any truth to this claim?
Oh man, like, I just needed to go the same direction, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I've got no idea who this Harold person you keep mentioning is.
I mean, they did mention the word Harold in all the time we've seen this talk. Shinya raises an eyebrow and casts me a dark look. I just
I
shrugged.
never mentioned the word Harold. Is that the name the culprit refers to themselves as?
Oh, this is like some detective mind trick, ain't it? I have the right to remain silent. Anything I say or do, or whatever, can be like...
And it will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to remain... You have the right to an attorney. If you don't have the money, the one will be chosen for you, blah blah. I've had enough of the screams and inane ramblings.
Listen up!
I slam my fist against the table and send Junpei rolling back in his seat. He nearly falls out of the chair but manages to regain his balance.
You've got two options here. Number one, tell us the identity of that killer. The person you called the Herald.
What's the other option?
Number two, tell us who is really in charge of the human removal service.
Oh! His sweaty pulsating forehead is glowing red.
I can't betray the identity of the Herald. I just can't.
His voice actor is so familiar to a completely different character. I know it's not the same voice actor, but the way they pronounce their stuff is so similar. I love it. Why was red and green there? Because it has been that way ever since we saw that Aoi has a red and green
But
color
the guy
blindness.
behind all of this, I say fuck him. I'll sell him out. If it
Oh!
means you'll pardon my involvement.
I don't know what caused this sudden change in attitude, but Shinya gives me a grateful nod and feels good to have been helpful. It's Kaiji Tanza might be that you heard him before, actually. Well, it's definitely not from, like, the role that he keeps reminding me of. That's totally a different person, but interesting. You guys on the screen now? Really? Yo, the chat works again! No way! Oh, yay! Yay!
Please, Mr. Matsumoto, please give us a name.
Okay. Look. You gotta know this. I don't have all the deets, okay? I'm not as important as y'all think I am.
That's fair.
But the guy running this whole thing, he's got an army of masked killers.
It's
An
a
army
Christmas
of
miracle.
damaged chicks all going around, killing and calling themselves the Herald.
And the name of this ringleader?
Like I said, I don't know everything. I don't got his full name. I only know him as N. Sinclair.
Nobel Sinclair. And Sinclair. A foreign name, although the first name could be Japanese, I suppose. Shinya's jotting the name down and confirming the correct spelling with Junpei. I find myself lost in a thought far detached from this moment. For some strange reason, Noriko's face pops into my mind. I have a fuzzy recollection of a conversation with her, but any attempt to clarify the thought in my mind is useless.
Shinya, is the name familiar to you?
Yes,
Amazing! Shinya always surprises me.
So who is it?
Noriko Kurosawa once told me about a book she was reading. Now, please understand, I don't share the same taste in fiction as hers, so...
Yeah, I get it. Get to the point.
Right, they did talk about the book once.
She used to read the most macabre, horrific stories, and she told me about one book in particular. A book about a man obsessed with corpses.
Obsessed with corpses, huh? Jeez, don't that sound familiar? Wait, what am I saying? That does sound familiar.
God, Tome, you're so stupid!
She told me about that book, too. Flower... Something about a flower.
Yes. Strange Flower. A book by Nobel Sinclair.
Nobel Sinclair. And Sinclair himself.
Jeez. You reckon that's the guy behind the human removal service?
I don't know, but it's a lead. A man obsessed with the dead. Truly despicable.
That's one way to put it. I've done my time with sickos like that, had enough of it and put it all behind me.
Oh, Detective Man. Can I, go now?
Absolutely not.
Shinya turns away from Junpei and beckons for one of the armed police officers standing guard at the room's entrance. The officer walks over and awaits Shinya's command.
Arrest this man.
Yo, that's whack! What are you doing?
Police officer cuffs Junpei and yanks him out of his chair.
Damn. Shinya, that was cold.
It had to be done.
Junpei Matsumoto is dragged away, kicking and screaming. Silence falls upon the room after the door closes in the police officer's wake.
So, what now, Detective Man?
Shinya scratches his chin as though wondering why I would call him that, but he doesn't voice his
Our
discontent.
next step is to track down the author, Nobel Sinclair. Maybe he's our culprit, maybe not. Either way, we won't know until we talk to him.
Right on.
And how are you going to find him?
What about...
Shinya interrupts me with a sudden soft kiss on the lips. I close my eyes and lean into him, letting his warmth envelop me.
Shinya?
Yeah, yo, no making out on... Hello?
I couldn't have done this without you, Tomoe. And I wouldn't be the man I am today had it not been for you. So, thank you.
Does this mean you want to be with me again?
Yes. If you'll have me.
My heart swells with his confirmation. I've never been so happy.
Shinya! Of course!
Kisses me again and the fear of losing him instantly washes away. I won't fuck it up this time. I keep him close to me and protect him forever. I reluctantly break away from his embrace and hold his chin delicately in my fingers.
Let's go find this Nobel Sinclair fucker.
Yes. Let's find him.
No,
and
I
bring
don't
him
think
to
Shinya's gonna
justice.
start stabbing people. That doesn't seem like him. Oh. Ending A. True. Noriko Kurosawa. How many endings are there? 3 months later. Sometimes on dark and overcast days, I can feel a cold bite of steel inside my gut. It's a phantom sensation that flickers and dissipates within moments. My doctor says it's nothing to be concerned about, but it doesn't prevent me from pulling my clothes aside to examine the skin underneath. The sight of the scar does little to comfort me. I don't think I should have survived this injury. I don't think I should have walked away after regaining consciousness. But somehow, I survived that encounter with Aoi. In the darkest recesses of my memory, I can vaguely recall the warmth of strong arms carrying me from the factory, carrying me to safety. Somebody saved me on that fateful day, but I don't know who. I have no idea! Regardless, I owe them my life, my new life, a life that is actually worth something. A life that doesn't consist of skulking in the shadows and pretending to be a beautiful corpse. I look down at the empty plate before me and smile. I'm still not accustomed to the sight of a finished meal, but I'm slowly learning to love it. Yeah, Noriko getting over her ED arc. My stomach feels full, truly full, not just full enough like I used to force myself to believe. I've put on 4 pounds recently, 4 good, healthy pounds. My cheeks glow with vitality and my skin is no longer the sickly color of ghastly flesh. The waiters at this restaurant are probably getting sick of seeing me in here every other day, but I don't mind. I eat well here and I've learned to cook at home too. You give them money every other day, I don't think they're gonna get sick of you. Tomoe of all people taught me how to prepare dinner. I never expected to study the culinary arts under someone like her. But she has a knack for bringing out the flavor in food. She says she picked up a few things from years of caring for her kid siblings. I'm learning a lot from her. You guys still hang out? I thought Shinya wanted you dead. I push my plate to the side and take a sip of water. Time to pay the bills and get going. There are things to do tonight after all. What's up? Months have passed since the last time I set foot on these cursed grounds. The wafting stench of decay invades my nostrils and threatens to make me spill the contents of my stomach on the asphalt. It's a stench that I was once completely accustomed to. Now it's a sickening reminder of the person I used to be not so long ago. I didn't want to come here tonight. I didn't want to come here ever. Yet here I am. Call it a hunch or a premonition or just a bad feeling, but some part of my mind urged me to visit this place after receiving a strange text message this morning. A text message that seemed both alien and familiar at the same time. A solitary word decorated the contents of the message. Goodbye. But what drew my attention the most was the image attachment, a photo of a young woman. A young woman bent over backwards, her face obscured by matted hair and blood, and her chest exploding open from the inside. The young woman in the photo was me. It was an image of my own corpse. The craftsmanship was excellent. The cadaver used to replicate my body looked just like me. My first assumption was that the human removal service sent this photo to me, but upon a moment of deliberation, that didn't seem to be the case. The human removal service's activity has declined rapidly as of late. The number of murders or suicides, depending on how you look at it, across Tokyo have decelerated so quickly that it's almost as if the human removal service never existed at all. Besides, that organization had a particular trademark when sending out doctored corpse photos. They wouldn't include instructions with the message, instructions for the victim to follow, usually involving the murder of another victim. The message I received simply said goodbye. My corpse photo feels personal. It's typical of the work I used to perform. It's almost as if somebody took over the identity of Corpse Girl, the role that I once filled. That's crazy, isn't it? I took a deep breath and stride toward the factory's entrance. I almost choke as I breathe in the thick air. The stank of death hangs like smoke inside the factory. This place looks just as it did when I was last here. The notable exceptions are the fresh cadavers displayed here and there upon the warehouse racks. Somebody's living here. Somebody's continuing Corpse Girl's work, and somebody thought it would be wise to target me as a victim. Me, Noriko Kurosawa. Somebody made a fatal mistake. An animalistic instinct rises within me as my legs move with purpose. My feet claw the damaged concrete ground with every step. I'll kill the new Corpse Girl. I'll kill her and bury her. Enough is enough. I'll end the cycle of death that I started so long ago.
Who are you?
It's Aoi! A meek voice slings through the darkness, tugging aside the veil of silence ever so gently. I concentrate hard in order to identify the direction it came from. If I'm taken off guard even for just a second, it may be my end. My left. The voice came from my left. I spin on one heel and immediately feel bile rise in my throat.
May I help you with something? What the fuck is this?
I mean, sure, I know there was going to be Aoi, but...
My name is Noriko. Noriko Kurosawa. It's nice to meet you. What's your name? Aoi? Is that you?
I feel like I'm looking into a twisted mirror. The girl before me is not me, and yet...
Are you here to buy a corpse? I have plenty on display. You can browse as much as you like. But that one on the end of the rack is reserved. Sorry.
She runs her grimy hand through her unwashed hair and scratches her skull violently. A fleck of spittle drips from her lower lip as her eyes glaze over. This is Aoi Sato. Despite the hair and the makeup and the clothes, my old clothes, her voice is the same as I remember.
Aoi, knock it off. You're scaring me. Who is Aoi? Is that your name? Well, it's nice to meet you, Aoi. My name is Noriko.
A moment of clarity brings immediate understanding. Just like I was torn between my own identity and that of Corpse Girl, Aoi has become me. But her transformation hasn't been kind to her. Any recognition of her previous self has vanished. She doesn't even know her real name. After everything I've been through, I should be more forgiving to someone struggling with their identity. I should be understanding and sympathetic. Aoi, Noriko gasps for air as my fingers clench her throat. I ram my knee into her stomach and smash her into the warehouse wrecking, causing several stiff cadavers to crash to the ground around us.
Stop!
Aoi has lost herself. She's discarded all remnants of who she once was. I'm fine with that. I can almost relate to it. But I am Noriko Kurosawa. I've reclaimed my true self, and I won't let her become me. I am Noriko Kurosawa. And this bitch that stabbed me and left me for dead will not take my life away from me.
Die! Die!
I press Aoi against the steel racks and feel something within her frail body either bend or break. The dull tired eyes begin to droop, and the hands scratching at my wrist suddenly give up the fight. I realize I'm panting heavily as I clutch her neck. Her own ragged breathing synchronizes with mine, and it's almost as though we are one person. No, she's not me.
You are not me!
I scream and feel my fingernails puncture her skin. My fingers pierce her neck and drill into her flesh, stopping only when they clasp tightly around her spinal column. Ew. With all the strength I can pull from within me, I twist my arm and throw Aoi to the blood-splattered concrete. She hits the ground unceremoniously, her lightweight body barely making a sound as her vacant dead eyes stare up at the cracked ceiling. Girl, what? Girl, what? I never imagined I'd have to dig up this grave for a second time. When I buried Corpse Girl in the gardens below our former apartment, I didn't predict I'd have to see her again so soon. But here she is, still rotten and miserable. I thought her burial was going to be the end of it all, a symbolic gesture to help me leave behind the person I had become. It was a way to reclaim my former self and bury the past. Corpse Girl doesn't say anything when she sees me lift the dirt from our resting place. She doesn't give any indication that she even notices my presence. Fine, beat her away. I couldn't care less.
I've brought a friend for you. Someone to keep you company.
With a great deal of effort, I haul the body of Aoi, into the narrow pit and let it collapse beside Corpse Girl. The girl in my old clothes seems to cuddle up to her new companion. It's almost fitting that the person who became me should rest eternally beside the person I had tried to become. I think I can rest easy knowing that they're both in the ground. I think nothing further can prevent me from being Noriko.
Suppose I should say a few words. You were my best friend, Aoi, and I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm sorry that I only ever wanted to save myself. I hope that you at least found some happiness by becoming me. Goodbye.
I clutch a small shovel in my hands and begin to fill in the makeshift grave. Dirt and rocks pile into the pit slowly. I mistake the faint howl of the wind as a final moan from the girl I once knew as Aoi. What? Covered in dirt and grime and blood and muck and God knows what else, I collapse onto the floor in my new apartment. I'm very fortunate I managed to find this place. Someone moved out in a hurry and I was able to move right in with just the first month's rent paid up front. Don't know if I'll be able to afford next month's payment, but I'll face that challenge when it arrives. For now, everything is finally over. I should shower or bathe or at least scrub the filth from my skin, but I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. This is the price of being Noriko Kurosawa. I roll over onto my side and grab my phone, slowly bringing it to my eye level. An involuntary frown masks my dirt-encrusted face when I notice the icon for one missed call on my screen. An unknown number. A short message tells me that the caller left a voicemail. I don't know who would have called me at such a late hour. It's well past midnight after all. I close my eyes and let the voicemail play.
Hey.
No, I was thinking actually it might be Kojiro's former place.
Bit late. Sauce. We should talk. Call me?
Of course he isn't dead. Of course he isn't dead, because it's him. He's the guy behind it. You're telling me, he left all those books there? It's him. It's him. It's gotta be him. Mad. The book is almost warm in my hands. It's a pristine volume fresh off the printing press. Paperback, though I would have preferred hardback. It's been a while since I last published a book. Years. The few fans I have probably thought I disappeared off the face of the planet. I did, in a way. Not my fault. Death is death. Nobel Sinclair died in a fire inside his family home. That was a long time ago. Even though my name burned to ash, my body survived. I had to pick up a new name after that. Can't wander this planet without one. This body went on living for quite a while with a new name. I even grew to like it. Then the strangest thing happened. Another fire, inside a morgue this time. The new name went up in flames. My body survived, again. Fate? Don't know. Felt a bit lost after that. Felt a bit unlike anybody. I decided to pick the old name back up. Dusted it off, pinned it on my chest. Nobel Sinclair. It always suited me. Mother gave it to me after all. This time I didn't want to completely disregard my existence. The time spent as another man, too much happened. I've got too much to tell, too many tales to keep to myself. So this new book tells the entire story, from start to end. Yeah! Motherfucker! It wasn't easy typing page after page with only one arm. One of the most taxing and challenging things I've ever attempted. But now it's done. Soon this new volume will hit storage shelves across the country. How the fuck did you tie your tie? These Both of the lengths of the tie should not be the same. That is not how you oh my god. How did he survive getting gasoline all over himself? And then, you know, burning. Maybe he is actually immortal. The world will know everything. I used pseudonyms throughout the book to protect the identities of the guilty. Didn't print Noriko Kurosawa's real name even once. Didn't identify Junpei Matsumoto or Aoi Sato. Didn't call out Tomoe Watanabe or even that wannabe detective that always chases me, Shinya Fujikawa. And most importantly, I didn't print my previous name. Not that name, anyway. I confessed a lot of things within this text. I even confessed my involvement with the Human Removal Service. Getting caught up in that organization's web of death wasn't something I ever intended to do. It wasn't something Kojiro ever would have done. But it was necessary. Necessary in order to finish this latest book. Mabel Sinclair rose to the ranks of the Shadow Society within mere weeks. Chalk it up to his or my macabre experiences. Couldn't have done it without the connections I formed with Kojiro. Couldn't have done any of this without him. I'm at the top of the ladder now, so to speak. Got a bunch of killers on my payroll. Even the dog Junpei is on my leash now. Don't know where I'll go from here. The original plan was to shut the Human Removal Service down, delete it into existence as a final act of love for Noriko. But the power is nice. The power is intoxicating. Again, Kojiro wouldn't have toyed around with something like this. I'm not Kojiro. I look over the book in my hand once more. It's heavy, full of words that carry more weight than they should. Whether people believe the content of this book is out of my control, but those with a keen intellect will surely be able to piece the truth together. Now I scan the cover and read over the large embossed letters. Corpse Factory, a novel by Mabel Sinclair. I've never been more proud of my work. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. What? Which ending would you like to view? What? We saw the true ending, right? We saw ending A true. What's ending B false? Ending B false. How does this even work? We have like 3 choices to make in the game. Okay. No, yes, we are doing this right now. What's this one? Aoi and I used to always dream about getting away, breaking away from all of the stress and tension of our everyday world. You may be, but I'm not. I'm going. Okay. Good night. Thank you for coming by. Get some rest. She dreamt of going somewhere cold for a winter getaway, somewhere she could snuggle up by a warm fireplace and drink hot cocoa and feel at peace. I told her I'd like to visit a sunny holiday destination, but I don't know why I said that back then. It was a lie. I hated the sun. The harsh light and the warmth always used to leave my skin feeling feeling prickly and scorched. However, things have changed, through no plans of my own. For some reason, leaving behind the life of Corpse Girl helped me appreciate a few of the little things in life. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just happy I survived. Maybe I'm just glad that I don't have to keep living in an accursed apartment. I haven't fully recovered from the stab wound Aoi inflicted upon me. I haven't fully recovered from the scars she left in my heart. I don't think I ever will be 100% healthy again. My doctor says these things take time, but maybe a slight limp and a dull ache in my gut from time to time is a small price to pay for my life. I made a decision a few weeks ago to attempt a beachside vacation. It went well. 90k! Pale ghostly Noriko Kurosawa sat on a beach and attempted to get a tan. I did it for myself. Not out of some misguided notion that I should live out a dream vacation for Aoi's sake. Aoi can go on her own damn vacation whenever she wants. It's not like she's limping around with a cane and a serpentine scar across her beautiful skin. It's not like she had to struggle against the entire world just to get on an airplane. The beach was gorgeous. The water was pristine. I've never seen anything like it in all my life. But those moments of sunshine and relaxation were fleeting. Sitting alone now in this empty apartment makes it painfully clear. I had to return to Tokyo eventually. It was inevitable. But it feels like there's nothing here for me anymore. Maybe I'll move once more, go to Osaka or Nagoya. No one in Tokyo for me. Aoi, Kojiro, they're either dead or dead to me. Tomoe doesn't call me, doesn't answer messages. Shinya, nothing, no one in Tokyo for me. My eyelids close gently and the sweet embrace of sleep takes me. I decide to go for a walk to clear my head. But after returning to my new apartment building, I somehow forget my apartment number. I've only just moved in after all.
Shit! How could I forget something so important?
I wandered the cold hallways trying to locate my place. 238 or 248? Which one was it? Completely lost, I decide to turn around and search in the opposite direction. As I turn, a slightly open door catches my attention. Who would leave the door open? Anyone could walk into your apartment and steal your belongings. This thought quickly scampers off as I find myself pushing the door ever so gently. It swings open slowly, revealing a room lit only by the flickering light of a television.
Hello? You left your door open. Is anyone in there?
My timid voice sounds unfamiliar to my own ears. I realize that I've rarely spoken in the last few days, save for the occasional pleasantry exchange with the staff from the moving company. When no answer comes from within the room, When no answer from within the room is forthcoming, I take a careful step inside. No sound comes from the television in the corner. It has been muted, but the screen has been left on for some reason. My eyes strain to peer into the near darkness. Once my eyes finally decipher the screen before me, I realize that I'll never be able to delete the vision that has plagued me for most of my life. Oh no! Oh wait. My mother hangs from the ceiling, a rope coiled around her neck like a boa constrictor. Her mouth is agape, a half smile, half scream upon her lips. Her eyes are vacant and stained black with the filthy muck of regret, and her legs dangle, helpless, unable to secure a foothold upon the chair that has fallen to the ground. The chair that I kicked out from under her while I laughed and laughed along with Yuriko. A thick clump of bile bubbles up within my throat, and it takes all of my strength to resist keeling over and vomiting. The body hanging above me, the soulless corpse peering down at me. This is not my mother. This is not... This person, this nameless woman, she has been dead for hours at least. I didn't kick a chair out from under her. Yuriko isn't here laughing alongside me. I'm here alone. The woman isn't struggling. She isn't pleading for help or forgiveness. She isn't cursing her stupid mistake. She's gone. Just gone. Her soul is departed for whatever afterlife awaits us once we leave this purgatory. She's nothing more than a hanging corpse, nothing more than a sack of flesh and bone. The disgusting urge to throw up begins to ebb away as I stare up at the ceiling. The light of the television illuminates the corpse's face briefly, revealing skin gently kissed by light freckles and eyes creased with soft wrinkles. She's older than me, perhaps by a decade, but she's by no means less beautiful than I am. Her hair is long and soft, and I get a sudden urge to brush it aside, to sweep it away from her eyes, and tell her everything is going to be okay. Before I can even understand it, I'm standing up on the bed in order to reach up to the ceiling. I rest one hand lightly on her shoulder, then I go ahead and brush some of those stray locks from her eyes within my fingers. If I look past those empty eyes, those eyes that stare at me and see everything I am, if I look past them, I see a truly gorgeous woman before me. I'm utterly tranced by her. I rest my cheek against hers, her skin still surprisingly warm. Perhaps she did not perish as long ago as I initially assumed.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why I say those words. Maybe it's guilt? Guilt. It cost a lot of people to end up like her, forced them to end their own lives out of fear or distress or desperation. No, that's wrong. I'm not guilty of those things. Corpse Girl is the one responsible. It's not my fault those people died. I was myself. Regardless, to think that I helped Corpse Girl destroy so much beauty makes me feel ill.
What's your name?
The corpse doesn't answer.
A silent type, hey? That's okay. It's kind of cute. My name's Noriko. Are you hungry? Can I treat you to a meal?
Bruh. No reply.
Shh. It's okay. Come on. I'll get you down from there.
How are we doing?
Let's get you dressed. We'll put you in
How are we
something
doing?
nice. It's warm outside, so how about a light dress?
Nothing. It takes some time to unloop the rope from her neck and return her to the floor safely. Some part of my subconscious knows exactly how to move her carefully, to dress her, to apply her makeup and bring out her inner beauty. I can't recall if I've done something like this before. Have I taken a corpse out to dinner before? I can't recall if I just read about it in a book or if I've experienced a similar situation. Just because she's dead doesn't mean that I shouldn't treat her right. Just because she's dead doesn't mean she's not beautiful and worthy of my love. After a bit of time, my gorgeous friend is dressed to impress. We're ready to go out for dinner. She's not very talkative, so I'll place her order and keep the conversation going. People might look at us, they might stare or even judge us. We'll be okay. We're two beautiful young women simply enjoying each other's company. She's thought to decay soon, like a strange flower wilting moments after being taken out of water. As for me, I think I've been decaying for a long time. I hope this nameless corpse girl can help me feel alive again. She offers me a slight smile as I take her hand and lead her out into the blinding lights of the hallway. I blush. Why? Oh, why? We're still missing one CG. What the fuck? What's the hell ending then? Do I even want to know? Probably not. But we're here for the 100%, so let's see what the C ending is about. Ha!
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Oh no, oh no. I make a quick apologetic bow to my coworkers before hurrying over to my desk. No one seems to bother about my tardiness. A few people have a raised eyebrow, but they quickly return to their own work. I take a seat on my workstation and switch my computer on. It wears to life as I organize my belongings. From my handbag I retrieve some key items. First is my canned coffee, still ice cold thanks to the convenience that was powerful refrigeration. Second is my headphones. I can't complete a day of tedious data entry without listening to music. Last but not least is my phone. The screen is a little cracked and the protective case has seen better days, but it's invaluable to me. Something feels slightly off as I look at the screen. There's a nagging feeling in my mind, some small voice telling me that this isn't my phone, but I know it's mine, the familiar red case, the spiderweb fractures inching across the glass. It's my phone, no doubt about it. Pushing the strange thoughts from my mind, I turn my attention to my computer. It doesn't take long to read over the day's list of tasks. I'll be continuing what I started yesterday. Easy.
Noriko?
I'm startled by the sudden vocalization of my name. I don't know why. People call me by my name every day, don't they?
Oh, hello, Fujikawa.
Shinya Fujikawa is standing at my desk, scratching his cheek awkwardly. I get the feeling he wants to approach a topic of conversation that makes him nervous.
I wanted to apologize. I haven't been present in the office of late. Was there anything you needed to discuss with me during my absence?
I think about the question. Shinya and I don't really need to talk on a day-to-day basis. His work is fairly unrelated to mine. I'm just a data entry temp after all. But we do have a history together, I suppose. We went to school together after all. We were never exactly friends. Actually, I always kind of had the feeling he had a crush on me, but he's not really the type of guy to make a confession. Ali always used to joke about how he and I would make a cute couple, but I could never see it. He was, and still is, far too dull for my tastes. Aoi? Why does that name sound so distant? I try to put a face to the name, but my mind draws a blank. She was my best friend, and yet...
Noriko?
Oh, sorry. I get lost in my own head sometimes.
Yes, I see. Well, if there's nothing you need, then I'll be on my way.
Okay then.
Say, your old friend, Aoi Sato, have you heard from her lately?
No. Actually, I feel like something must have happened to her. We haven't spoken.
How is she able to see? I thought her eyes were fucked up.
Is that so? That's too bad.
I find it odd that he leaves the conversation with those last words. He simply walks away from my desk. My phone cries out, the unfamiliar ringtone, one I had never selected, splits my head wide open and prompts my brain to spill out between the cracks of my skull. I squeeze the sludgy grey matter back into my head and blink a few times, then realize that my brain is not actually leaking, just a trick of the light. I struggle to maintain eye contact with the screen. The call ID flashes across the device, identifying the caller as Noriko. Me, my own name, myself. Noriko is calling me. I'm calling myself? A dull ache still throbs within my head as though it has been recently emptied. I answer the call.
Hello?
I hear a sharp inhalation of breath and then the call cuts out. It takes a few seconds for me to realize I'm crying. Shinya's at my side, his arm around my shoulders, and within seconds the rest of my coworkers are staring down at me. I'm on the floor, my face nestled within the plush office carpet, but I don't know how I got there. I'm supposed to be stoic, unflinching. It's my ideology, my entire identity. So much for stoic and flinching Noriko. Remember stoic and flinching Noriko? Maybe if I just close my eyes I can make everything return to normal and start to stay over again. The stairs upward feel particularly difficult to climb today. It It was a rather strange day at the office, but I know that returning home to my family will make me feel better. Shinya took me to the train station and waited until I boarded my train. It was really sweet of him. I don't fully recall the things that he said to me. He might have mentioned something about not needing to return to the office anymore. Maybe all my workday is completed? My head is still a bit fuzzy, but I sifted through the details of the hot shower later tonight. Since the sun is beginning to go down, I think the others should be home by now. Yuriko is probably relaxing on the sofa, and Mother should definitely be there, since she doesn't leave the apartment these days. I unlocked the door to the apartment and wandered inside.
I'm home.
Stepping through the open door is always a comforting feeling. It's good to return after a long day at work.
There you are. Good evening, big sis. Good evening, Mom.
Yuriko offers me a warm smile. She's changed a lot recently. Her foul, rebellious attitude disappeared when she moved in. Maybe she simply wanted our family to be reunited again. Maybe her delinquency was all just an act, a way of trying to deny what she really wanted, to simply return home. Mother, on the other hand, doesn't really regard my entrance, but there's nothing to be concerned about. She's always distant and aloof.
Shall we order in tonight? I'm thinking some pizza would be delicious.
Yuriko nods. The act causes a small clump of her hair to detach and flutter to the floor. I'm looking forward to a quiet night in with my family and some pizza. I never had the opportunity to enjoy these moments when I was growing up. In those days, I was simply grateful for the nights I could go to bed without a new bruise or gash to cover up. Mother used to kick me and slap me, but hang on. I look at her now, slumped on a couch, completely lost in her own world. It's not the mother that used to abuse me. It's not the mother that was married to my father. And Yuriko never used to stand up for me, but that's because Yuriko was never there when I was growing up. Where was she? I shut my eyes and tried to sift through the confusing fragments of memories rolling within my mind. She's not my mother. This woman before me, she's Noriko's mother. That's it. That's how I know her. Wait, of course she's my mother. I'm Noriko, duh. How could I forget something so simple? Yuriko was there when I was growing up. The reason she never stood up for me is because no one ever abused me. God, I don't know why I get so confused and frazzled like this sometimes. I smell like my loving family and clap my hands together.
Okay, I'm going to order dinner. Is everyone happy with barbecue pizza?
Yuriko nods and Mother lets out a quiet snore of approval. I whip my phone up to eye level and open a food delivery app. I notice that my battery only has 8% left. I should charge it up before it dies on me. I keep a charger here in the living room, so it only takes me a second to waltz over to the wall socket. As I lean down to grab the charger, I see that another phone is already plugged in. Another phone? The case is blue and the screen doesn't have a trace of damage on it. Whose phone is this? I nervously tap the screen and see a list of noise notifications. There are a lot of messages from someone named Junpei. Junpei? It's a name that doesn't ring a bell. I check to see if the phone is unlocked by pressing my thumb against the home button. Strangely, my fingerprint unlocks the phone instantly. My fingerprint? But this isn't my phone. This can't be my phone. The messages from Junpei all open in quick succession. Babe, good news, hit me up. Waiting for you. Coffee today? Are you mad at me? Talk to me, my little cherry blossom. I miss you. Did I do something wrong? A splitting sensation inside my skull returns as my eyes devour the contents of the never-ending string of messages. I feel like I know this person, but I can't picture a face. I can't picture any scenario in which we have ever met or spent time together. Why does he speak to me in such a familiar way? Wait, he's not speaking to me? Of course, this is my phone, so these messages were never intended for me. I throw the phone aside, happy to have broken free of my concern. It doesn't matter who the phone belongs to, it's not mine, so I don't have to deal with it. I plug my own phone into the charger and feel relieved as I watch the battery icon slowly fill up.
Okay, Mom, Yuriko, I'm going to go take a shower while my phone charges. I'll order dinner after that. I promise. Thank you for being patient.
For the first time in a while, Mother actively responds to my voice.
Noriko?
Yo, this woman is actually still alive? My head lifts slightly and she regards me with little eyes.
Mom?
Where am I? You're not Noriko.
A bead of sweat forms on my forehead and a shiver rolls slowly down my spine like a spider. The firm, accusatory tone immediately chills me to the bone.
Of course it's me, Mom. It's me, Noriko.
No, you're... Where am...
Panic settles on her delirious face. I don't exactly blame her for being scared and confused. She's been in a near vegetative state ever since her attempted suicide. But for her to not recognize me, for her to forget what her own daughter looks like, that's inexcusable, unforgivable. I'm Noriko, damn it. I fall to my knees, the splitting, throbbing, aching pain in my skull reaching a crescendo, threatening to blow my brains out across the living room.
I'm Noriko! Noriko Kurosawa! Look at me, Mom! Look at me!
Nanda's eyes widen and she looks like she's going to vomit. She turns to see Yuriko white and ghastly in the seat next to her, and a tear forms in her eye.
What have you done? What is this?
Just shut up! Just shut up and be a part of my perfect family! Look at us! All three of us! We're the Kurosawa family! And we're finally back together! We're happy, right? We're happy!
Still on my knees, I slowly lower my head to the ground and let it rest on the soft carpet. I barely register the sound of the door behind me opening slowly. After the creaking hinges come to a rest, a strong voice floods my ears.
Yo, Harold. You're Noriko no longer. Got work for you.
The source of the voice wanders toward me and towers above my face down form. It said I'm no longer Noriko. Can my identity just slip away so easily? Can it vanish into thin air like it was never truly a part of me?
No. I will always be. I am Noriko!
I leap to my feet and launch myself at the man who dared to enter my apartment and tell me that I'm not truly who I want to be. I barely catch a glimpse of his face before he pummels me in the nose with a broad fist. I'm on the floor again in an instant, the dizzying lights above me spinning in my blurred vision.
Get up. Get your things. We're cleaning up after Corpse Girl's mess.
What's the bonus ending? Oh no, okay, that's a okay, we saw this. No. We saw this one. We saw Tomoe's ending. And the epilogue is just a thing with him, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, we saw all the endings then. What the fuck? What's this thing then? Crow Factory. Caw, Noriko Kurosawa. I'm sorry, what? What is that? I've always liked the shape of my wings, Carl. I can be critical, but I can be critical about other parts of my body, but I'll never complain about my wings, Carl. With or without feathers, I think they look great, Caw. Mother used to tell me I inherited her wings, and my big sister inherited father's wings. To be honest, I don't see any father's feathers in myself or my sister's, Caw, but I do agree that my wings are exact replicas of mother's. Mother doesn't fly too well anymore, and that might be something I have to also worry about in the future. But for now, my wings are perfect, Caw, and I couldn't be happier with them. Not the full boyfriend! Today's morning ritual is the same as any other workday. I'm a slave to the shiny things, and I'm not proud of it, Caw. Call me a corporate sellout, but I can't survive without the shiny things. It's just the cost of being me, Noriko Kurosawa, Caw. Okay, hold on. What the fuck is this? She goes to work. This is just the beginning of the game, but everyone is a crow. Crowjiro, no last name. Oh, thanks for playing. Oh god, okay. Okay, I guess. They were like, you know what? We need something funny after that ending. What in the actual fuck, though? Genuinely. Oh, that was a lot. The entire thing with Kojiro being the one behind this all is very funny to me, considering that Junpei tried to kill him. I do not know how he managed to survive that. How do you survive getting gasoline all over yourself and, you know, being put on fire? But whatever, I'll take it, I guess. He's out there being his little mastermind self, whatever. Interesting. Erika Halafa, Kujiro Alex Le. Okay, Aoi Sato, Brian and Knickerbocker. Oh, yeah, Kaiji Tan, okay. And now, Momo Ogawa and Yuriko Kurosawa. Oh! It's the same person, okay. I mean, it makes sense for those characters that don't do that much to just get someone. Okay, background illustration, original soundtrack, theme song, ooh, lead developer, additional resources, Nani novel. Oh, okay. Love for Sunny Car. Oh, lots of names. I both know what happened and don't. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. That was wild. That was a wild ride. Let me put on some calming music. That is not necessarily calming, but whatever. Well, I did not think we would finish the game today. Thank you for the pat. I did not think we would finish the game today. Not at all. I thought we had like way more to go. We got such big names for the voices. Yeah, I guess they got some good funding. Interesting game. I liked it. I'm a little confused. Interesting conclusion. I find it very weird that Noriko survived all that. Like, she got stabbed, severely stabbed. She probably was out cold there for quite a while. But okay, sure, whatever. And Kojiro. I mean, it was interesting. He's just fucking, oh yeah, that's the end to his story, and then you get to Aoi, you're like, oh, okay, there it is, there it comes. Aoi was the one here. Only for them to turn around again and be like, hey, and Mao, actually, Kojiro is out there. That's very interesting. The epilogue is totally sequel, but I don't think they're gonna make one though. Like, how would you continue the story? It's like, okay, he's still out there. He's still a fucked up human being. He's writing his funny little books, but interesting though. Game just fucking destroyed my plan for next week because now I need to find a new game to play. But hey, we finished it despite the scuff. We finished it. We didn't even have to go that much overtime. This is lovely. I like it. I like it a lot. Was a good game, definitely. I'm not sure I would have played it myself. Wait, that does make sense. I did play it myself right now, but I'm not sure it is a game I would usually have gotten into. But yeah, that's cool. Truan also suggests it could go on. Yeah. Hello Charlotte. Ooh. Hello Charlotte is horror. I say, this is also horror, but you know. Well, alright. That was fun. I'm gonna try and make do with like, I'm gonna find something else we'll play next week for sure. I'll post the schedule in a bit. I'm gonna try and fix everything that was wrong today until the stream on Wednesday. I hope I can fix OBS because I'm gonna scream cry if I can't. Yeah, thank you so much for coming tonight. It somehow worked out. So that's fun. For now, I'm going to send you guys over to our favorite pink cat because it is Sunday and also my song is slowly ending and I haven't even set up a radio. Wow. I wish all of you a very, very good night. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I'll see you all soon. I can't type. I'll see you all soon.
Good night. And bye-bye.
Wait, why am I saying bye-bye? I haven't even given you the right message yet. Here it is. Good night, everyone.
Have a great rest of your weekend. See y'all soon. Good night. And bye-bye, this time for real.